Aquarius is an air sign along with Libra and Gemini. Aquarius is associated with our Uranus. And as we know, Uranus is in Taurus right now and it's retrograde. So these energies and all these planets in retrograde, there's a lot of shedding of old people, places, and things, habits, philosophies. It's putting theories to test, seeing if it actually coincides with what you were brought up with, what you believe in, testing the waters. Hey y'all, welcome to this Aquarius full moon in Leo season. We are doing the second part because about like 2 weeks ago there was also the first full moon in Aquarius, and that was welcoming in the energy of that Lion's Gate, that new moon energy of Leo. For this Aquarius full moon, it will continue the themes of the first Aquarius full moon. The video ceremony that I did for the first full moon, where we talked about, letting your freak flag fly, being your authentic self, going to the beat of your own drums, cutting people, places, and things off, rearranging the way that you communicate, if it's funny, if it's off, and so on and so forth. So that will be the continuation of the theme for today. But I'll get further into it by after we do the inhale and the exhale and the same bowl. So let me not get too ahead of myself. I feel like I haven't done that in forever, and it's probably because I haven't done daily videos and uploaded onto my YouTube channel. I kind of put that on pause, but let's continue on with the ceremony. Let's smudge the energies. Okay. Making sure all the negativity, all the angst, all the despair, all the bad vibes, bad people, places, and things, malice, intent, and anything that lowers us, keeps us to our lowest vibration, that puts us in the energy of anxiousness, depression, anything that aligns us or misaligns us from our true selves, from our higher self, from our godly in-touch intuition. So let's clear the air. Anything that does not serve us will not be in this energy for this ceremony. Today is technically tomorrow, but energies are fluid, and today I got the time. So with that being said, we cleared out the room, and now we are ready to get into the ceremony. Let's do an inhale and an exhale with the lavender spray. As you know, lavender, or you don't know, maybe you don't know, lavender is one of the scents that are really good with essential oils or anything lavender, even if it's like a body spray or any type of cream that you put on your body. It's supposed to help you be calm as well as be aware and present within self. So to be comfortable, to be aware, to be present. So I'm going to spray it within the room. If you have some lavender, whether it's lavender candle, lavender perfume, or anything that you want to incorporate within the ceremony, please go do so. Alrighty. Typically I would light the candles, and I guess I could, but it's kind of already hot already, because we are dealing with global warming, and that is something, unfortunately, I remind people all the time, because I think people tend to forget, like, that's a situation that's not going to go anytime soon. And if you dislike current themes right now in regards to like tragedies and natural disasters and quakes and this, that, and the third, that has to do with global warming. And though corporations will like us to believe that if we as regular people, not we as in those who own corporations such as the oil industry, but we regular people are responsible for climate change. If we just changed our habits, if we just use less water, this and the third would not be happening, which is false. The major change comes from a political and business point of view, but we can all do our part. But the major parts, politicians need to get in with where they fit in, which is supposed to be for the people. But let me get things situated, back into balance, back into focus, so we can do this reading right. Okay. Let's put this over here. Cool. Now, so I want to start up this reading with giving you an overview of where the transits currently are, so you know what's going on with our solar system at this current time. So Mercury is currently in Virgo, Venus is currently in Libra, Mars is currently in Virgo, Jupiter is retrograde in Aquarius, Saturn is retrograde in Aquarius, Uranus is retrograde in Taurus, Neptune is retrograde in Pisces, Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn, and Chiron is retrograde in Aries. So needless to say, we have 6 out of 9 planets, depending if you include Pluto or not. I include Pluto, so Pluto is still a planet to me. But we have 6 out of 9 planets that are retrograde. So needless to say, the energy is thick, the energy is abundant, and the energy is ripe. So that is going on astrology-wise within the planets and whatnot. And I want to talk about what does Aquarius represent. Aquarius is an air sign along with Libra and Gemini. Aquarius is associated with our Uranus. And as we know, Uranus is in Taurus right now and it's retrograde. So these energies and all these planets in retrograde, there's a lot of shedding of old people, places, and things, habits, philosophies. It's putting theories to test, seeing if it actually coincides with what you were brought up with, what you believe in, testing the waters, as well as being your authentic self, being free and being fearless in a sense of like going outside your comfort zone, standing on your own authenticity, speaking up where people wouldn't think that you would speak up, or things that you thought that wasn't for you, or you weren't raised like that, or you were scared to. Like, this is the time to break out of those things. It's a time to see, and like I've been saying, test the waters. This could be in something in regards to your routine. Maybe you're taking a different direction to work or to the grocery store, to the bank, or whatever the case may be. It might be like going a different way about like fitness. People think fitness, they think of a typical gym like a Planet Fitness or LA Fitness. Perhaps your fitness might be, I don't know, playing dodgeball. Your fitness may be, I don't know, pole dancing, or whatever the case may be. The Aquarius energy is asking us to release things that no longer serve us, because the 11th house is also associated with group collectives. Are we being authentic when we are in a group collective, or are we hive mind? Are we just going along to get along? Do we really believe in these people, places, and things? Are we keeping on to expired relationships because we're fearful? Fake evidence appearing as real, that's holding us back to these things that no longer serve any purpose in your life. So that's that Aquarius energy of shaking up those still waters. When we think about Aquarius, when we're talking about tarot, in particular the major arcanas, we're talking about the star card. We see a naked woman in the lake, bathing herself, and it's kind of like a baptism, talking about healing, seeing the value within self, the purity within self, as well as the highly favored, right? That's that healing energy. That's like people seeing you as the star, or embodying that confidence as if you are the star. So that is the current theme that you will be experiencing, and that will be coming along within this particular reading for the full moon in Aquarius. Okay, now let's scroll through. I want to read you an article that's going to go fully into depth about what the Aquarius full moon represents. And then we will be going into some readings for the individual's houses. So that's Aries, number 1, all the way through Pisces, number 12, about some messages that's occurring within this now going into Virgo season. So that Leo Virgo energy, especially with that Lion's Gate. That Lion's Gate was supposed to be courageous, open and expand, be creative, maybe you work with children, or even resolve certain like childhood hangups, or some certain childhood hurts or wounds, addressing things of the past, especially if it has to do with childhood issues and baggages, repairing yourself, your inner child, and letting that speak, doing things that really make you happy, getting in touch with those light-hearted aspects of yourself, especially if you felt like life has been daunting, you felt outcasted, you felt alone. That was the energy to really get into self and get into what makes you feel seen and heard and passionate and supported. So let me, like I said, we're going to get some messages for each of the houses. I'm going to get some love messages as well. And then we're going to get a wrap-up message for each house in regards to like what is the message not only for this full moon ceremony, but what will be carrying on throughout the days, the weeks, the months that is in remnants of this full moon ceremony. So I'm pulling up an article from cosmopolitan.com, and it says, PSA, the second full moon in Aquarius is here. So, and the gag is this one song, this, you know, every year has that summer anthem or yearly anthem, but I'm telling you, on a soul level, that song by that little baby, Olivia Rodrigo, I don't really know much about her. She's more of the little youngin' generation, that the Gen Zers. She's more like the Gen Zers. She does the, I guess she's a part of High School Musical, the remix version. I don't know, but she's a very pretty girl and she is very artistic. She's very musically talented. And she has this hit anthem called Deja Vu. When I heard that song the first time, I was like, who that? Who that? But then I was like, all right, maybe I missed the song. I didn't, you know, write anything down. But it's something about deja vu, deja vu, deja vu. And the only song, for the most part, I can remember off dome that has deja vu is like Beyonce's Deja Vu. And that was like decades ago. No shade. And I was like, I need to listen the next time I hear that song. I need to listen to something of the lyrics because I need to hear that song again. Long story short, it's a smash. It's a hit. Everybody knows the song. But that song on a soul level is like transformation. It's like ascension to me on an emotional maturity level. And for her to be such a young little woman to be able to grasp that or even create a song, I'm assuming she the writer. I don't know how true that is. But to even be able to sing it in its authenticity from such a young age of like, you know, going through a heartache, going through a breakup, and understanding like it's not me, it's you. Like I could be hurt by it, I could be slighted by it, but I'm not going to take your F-ups and your mistakes or your inadequacies and put that onto me and make me feel I'm inadequate because you're out here trying to bag an off-brand version of me. So there's something wrong with you that you couldn't handle the original, that you had to get a clone, and not even a sufficient clone. Like on a soul level, baby, we here. But anyways, I say that because the article mentions that. That was the point. But let me read to you what the article actually says. Run the track. If you missed the memo, on August 22nd, we'll see the second full moon in Aquarius in a row. This is a rare occurrence, so pay close attention to how this full moon affects you, hence why it's also considered the blue moon. A blue moon is basically when you have a full moon in a month twice. So like this Aquarius full moon, we had it like 2 weeks ago and now we're having it now. So that is considered the blue moon. The second full moon in a month is considered the blue moon because it doesn't happen. It's a rare occurrence. Back to the article. Think back at what you were going through during the last full moon in Aquarius, July 23rd, 2021. So a month later, I said a 2 weeks, so like last month. That's why I said July. Last month, we had the first full moon, and now this month, we're having the second. And not even a full month. Like, it was the beginning of Aquarius season, but it was in July. July 23rd, to be specific. If you're unable to remember exactly what was happening during that time, feel free to go back and read your horoscope. On August 22nd, 2021, at 8:03 a.m. Eastern, the moon will be full in the sign of Aquarius, making an opposition to the sun in Leo. Under this full moon, we can expect to reach clarity regarding how we can enhance and enrich our lives. Leo energy is related to creativity, playfulness, and children. So use protection if you plan on getting frisky during this full moon, because the best sex, the best intimacy, the best climax is the type that you don't catch nothing that you wasn't feeling to catch in the first place. Okay? Wrap it up. Safe sex is the best sex. Period. Okay? That's an article. On the other hand, Aquarius energy values long-term planning and innovation, meaning that this full moon is a great time to figure out how to best present yourself to the world. There is no need to rush the process or suddenly switch the script. Hard work and determination will make the difference. It's giving me teas like, it's kind of like a mold of clay. As the artist, you're supposed to sculpt something out of that big clunk of clay. And this Aquarius full moon is like, you're the clay. So just refine the features where things are you're kind of missing, or it's not all the way right. You forgot to dot the I. You forgot to skim through something. Like it's talking about not necessarily repetition, but more so like discipline. This full moon will be at 29 degrees, which creates a contrast from the full moon on July 23rd, 2021, which was at 1 degree, bookending the sign of Aquarius. You're preparing to level up, so make sure that you're setting a firm foundation to work from. Again, that artist, that craftsmanship that I'm seeing in my head is literally like the Magician card, but the Magician card within this particular deck. Let me show y'all what I mean. It's literally just like honing in on your craft and making sure that you're the best in the tank. You're the best, secret weapon. Like you're the secret sauce. Like it's talking about just being the best you can actually be, and like working on it. Not just like, oh, I wasn't able to, let's say, for example, do one of those like three pointers. Yeah, 3-pointers. Let's say you practice that. You finally got the ball in. You can't say like, oh, now I'm Magic Johnson or I'm Michael Jordan. Like you got to consistently do that, like on the regular at a pace that like it's damn near robotic for you to even be considered to be Michael Jordan or Magic Johnson. I don't know why I said Magic Johnson, but again, if you're getting frisky, period. But here we go with the Magician card. It looks like this in my head when I think about the Aquarius full moon the second time around and what the energies are asking of you, whether it's your ancestors, whether it's your higher self, whether it's the divine. Is really on that craftsmanship. It's really on that like be your best. It's kind of like Pinocchio's dad. Like Pinocchio's dad was able to turn this block doll thingy into damn near a real boy. It's like that type of passion, with a little bit of Disney magic. But nonetheless, it's talking about like being the best at what you do, because ain't nobody can touch you, period. And it's not out of competition. It's not out of like ego or arrogance. It's really out of like, I'm the best at what I do. Like no one can outdo me at being me, period. Now, let's get into the tarot. How y'all feeling? How y'all doing? How has your Leo season has been treating you? How you gonna utilize Virgo season that's coming up? Ooh. Let's shuffle the cards. Like I said, we're gonna do a few messages for every individual sign, so all the houses, so that would be 12. And then after I get the messages from the 3-card spread, we're going to pull out what message comes out as a love message from the Romance Angel Oracle deck, and then we'll get a Sacred Destiny card to wrap that thing up. Okay. But yeah, Aquarius energy is really about just being your true self. But it's interesting because sometimes we feel comfortable being our true self behind closed doors, which is like behind the scenes in private. Even like we act one way in public, but like behind the scenes, not just with our friends, but like in your home or your internet history is something totally different. It's giving me that type of tease. If you watched Cruel Summer, it's giving me Jeanette Turner before she was popular versus Jeanette Turner after she became popular. Or like the Principal Martin, where people were like, oh, he's such a great guy, but no one thought he was a pedophile until they found out he was a pedophile. It's like one of those type of energies. It's asking you to be true to self, as well as like notice those habits about you that might be a little bit too arrogant, too egotistical. Maybe you're too sly with your line. Check that. Check if you're with the collective out of genuineness or is out of manipulation, codependency. Is it narcissism? So it's about you checking not only your shadow, but also checking your intent. Who are you? Are you the same person with this person, or you're a different person with that person? Granted, the way your friends know you is going to be different. The way that your significant other knows you, the way that's going to be different from your coworkers, unless they're your homie, lover, friend, one particular person. Or maybe you're into polygamy, so maybe multiple people. But nonetheless, the point is, people know us differently depending on their status or position within our lives. However, like, your wife shouldn't think you're the bee's knees, but your coworkers think like you're a narcissist. Like, that gives me Jekyll and Hyde type of tease, which is like Gemini energy, another air sign. So it's talking about, like, do you stand on your square? Are you the same person 360? Like, do you walk that walk, talk that talk? Or are you fronting? Are you just doing things for the scene, to be seen, to be heard? Are you just too friendly? Kind of like how Megan got her, foot shot. Like, you just trying to he and ha. Are you checking the room? Are you checking yourself? Checking your breath, because mass breath is a thing. It's just asking you just to tighten up, refine yourself, discipline yourself. So let's see, what are the energies for Aries? Interesting. 3 cards came out. Didn't even take me no time. Within this Colette Baron read, the Good Tarot, we only read uprights. We don't read reversals, but the messages still hit regardless. So these 3 cards, I'm going to show you them upright. The first card is the Queen of Water, which would be like the Queen of Cups. The second card is the Queen of the Air, which would be the Queen of Swords. And then we have the Messenger of Air, which would be the Knight of Swords. So Aries, with this particular energy, Chiron is in Aries and it's retrograde. So you might have a hard time focusing. That's the energy that I'm getting. There might be things where you're trying to ground yourself because that Mars is in Virgo energy, and Mars is the natural ruler over Aries. So you might be trying to get disciplined. You might be, lining your ducks in a row. You might be expanding, like looking over your resume, branching into different departments, taking leap forwards, really refining yourself, putting yourself forward in different environments, rising up the ladder, the corporate ladder, like being seen more as not just, oh, that's my cousin, but like, oh, that's, business owner of the year. It's giving me that type of tease. However, with that Chiron energy in Aries and it's in retrograde, there may be certain like residues of the past that might kick in, especially like, let's say it's a work environment. It might be a situation where you may have fear, or even imposter syndrome, because you're like, did I really earn this? Like certain things of the past, especially if you had parents who were like, oh, you're not good enough, or oh, you just good looking, so just skate on your looks because you pretty empty upstairs, or whatever the case may be. There might be some like shadow elements of like rejection or the inadequacies that comes through that might be hindering you or might trigger you within this expansion and this cultivating this like new, not necessarily persona, but like the upgraded, more mature version of yourself. And with this Queen of Water and this Queen of Air, 2 queens here, this might represent 2 different women in your lives. Could be like a mother, daughter, mother, wife, wife, daughter, whatever scenario, because these are 2 court cards or 2 queens. So this might be a decision that you have to make. Do you think with your higher head, or do you think with your emotional part? It might be a situation where it has to be head over heart over head, or head over heart decision. Like, you got to think with your head and not your emotions. This might be a situation where it might be inconvenient because you might be dealing with someone who did something by mistake, or they didn't recognize a mistake or mishap, and it may have offended you. So communication may be funny, because the way that I see this spread, you have the Queen of Water here and you have the Messenger of Air here. As you see it, they're opposing each other. If you can clearly see that. As you can see, they're opposing each other, but the way that they're laid out in front of me, they're actually looking at each other. And the way I see it is like they're competing. So it might be an energy of someone feels like you should be with them, you should choose them, someone's putting you in the middle, but it's like using your mind and making the best decision, especially if you are being emotionally manipulated, especially if you are dealing with someone who kind of puts you on red, someone who texts you when things are available, or you just booty call, or whatever the case may be. But it's giving me the energy of like certain things of your shadow may like perk up or trigger up or pop up, especially when you're trying to get on your grizzy grind, trying to get on your grown and sexy, but it's asking you to take a higher approach. Let's see what's going on in the love life of Aries. Literally, like the Queen of Water and this Messenger of Air, they look like they're about to beef. It's like versus. It's like when you see those posters. Perfect. If you're like a 2000s kid, remember when 50 Cent and Kanye were like beefing or like battling, like who's going to get rap album of the year? So they were competing against each other. And they did that infamous magazine cover where Kanye, who's represented like Jesus because he was getting crucified, he had that whole Jesus walks type of thing going on with him. And 50 Cent was like that urban, gritty, hood thug rapper. And they were like competing for the #1 spot. And then Kanye was here, 50 was here, and they were both facing each other. That's the energy of this Queen of Water and this Messenger of Air. The way I see it, they're directly looking at each other like they are competitors. Or there's some type of beef, there's some type of like constraint, restraint, some type of like underlying situation that's not really being addressed. And it's asking you to like see it from a more mature point of view, but not necessarily from a point of view of like castigating, but it's more like having space and grace for the situation to make the most mature decision. Like you can't scoot down to a lower vibration because your shadow is being triggered. If your shadow is being triggered, it's asking you to deal with it and reconcile it the best that you can. And if it's an actual person or a place, it's asking you to take a more mature point of view. Ooh. Let's see what is the love card that is coming out. All of a sudden, I feel hot and sweaty. Like this might be the energy of Aries, nervousness, anxiousness. Let's see. Ooh. Could be like a twin flame situation, an F dude, F girl trying to come back around because they lonely or their main thing ain't available no more. So now they want to come back on some, hey friend, hey big head, just thinking about you, what you doing, who you doing it with, because their plan A didn't come through. Don't be nobody's second plan. Don't be nobody's second option. Don't be codependent in these streets, Aries. You deserve to be loved appropriately, period. Our card that came out was retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. This could be in regards to a couple because, again, I'm getting this competitive energy. This might be someone trying to break a situation up, someone young, someone immature, someone needy, someone who just talks real quick but don't back it up, someone who might be flipping with the mouth, flip it with actions, but they don't come through. There's no consistency. So this might be causing some type of hardship within your union. Let's say a marriage. Maybe it's like one of your children or one of your spouse's children. So like let's say that's your stepchild or something like that. It might be an energy where someone has to set the law and like bring peace back into the foundation of this situation. Might be chaos energy, just too much stress, you know, always looking at what's going on in the news, what's trending, what's this, what's that. Maybe it's information overload. Let's see. Let's clarify with the final message from the Sacred Destiny Oracle deck. What are some messages that we have for Aries? Ooh. And with the retreat card, it's giving me marriage. So some type of commitment, something's coming. Something is like causing friction within some type of commitment, higher level commitment. Could be a marriage, could be an agreement, could be a partnership, could be a deal, but there's something that's causing some type of unnecessary stress that you need to address and possibly cut out. Okay. Let's do like 3 more shuffles. Because if you don't, it might become a bigger problem. It's giving me 3 of Swords type of tease. Not necessarily cheating or something, some type of like big separation. It could really just be like stress or overworked, overtired, not enough rest, doing too much. Alrighty. Let's get a card for Aries. Let's get a Sacred Destiny card for Aries. Spirit, what you got? Okay. We have solitude. Definitely. I'm feeling that energy heavy. And I'm literally feeling hot as heck. And I'm just like, I wasn't feeling like this until I got into the Aries portion. Solitude. What's going on, Aries? Someone trying you. Because you know when they try you, they try your life, because you're ruled by Mars. And Mars don't really take too much ish for too long. So you might want to get into your Mars-ish where you set down the law, because that's that Emperor energy, right? And Emperors don't really take too much ish. They're a righteous Emperor is fair and balanced and just, but they ain't nobody's pushover. There's nobody's doormat. Solitude. Sacred island. Islands are bodies of land surrounded by water. They can be in an atoll or a river basin. However, the ocean surrounds most islands. They can be massive with their own unique verdant ecosystems, or they can be small and barren. The terrain can be flat or mountainous. They can be a detachment from the mainland through erosion, or they can arise from the sea through volcanic activity. The thing that is universal in all islands is their isolation, as many cultures assign mystical symbolic meaning to particular islands. They are thought to be the resting place of gods and thus are used for sacred purposes. The sacred landscape wants you to know, spend some time alone in your life. This means to take your own counsel rather than relying on the opinions and dictations of others. Break away from the crowd. Be your own. This card also speaks of self-resourcefulness, self-reliance, and tenacious individuality. If you are working on a project, trust your instincts and follow your own lead. Your creativity is at its peak. Let it flow. If you are in a relationship that is disempowering, this card suggests that it is time to step away. Take time to reassess your life in solitude and you will thrive. This card also suggests safe haven, a sacred womb for incubation and self-transformation. Yeah, you can't think, you can't meditate, you can't get that divine message if you're ripping and running and dealing with extra ish that is just taking you away from your true spiritual connection with the divine. How are you going to listen to your higher self if it's always chaos, if there's always noise? Whew. Now let's move on to Taurus. What's going on with the bull gang? What's going on with the Tauruses? What are some messages for the collective? Venus energy. I think Venus is in Libra, I believe. Which would be its natural home planet. Well, Venus can go between Taurus and Libra because they share Venus. So if it's in Libra, Tauruses should be all goody, especially socially, especially with their looks, especially when it comes to like maybe their skin is getting better, their hair is growing longer, edges are getting fuller, booty's getting thicker, waist is getting snatched, you know. Good things should be happening to the collective. Confidence, esteem. Just heard a noise. That's why I turned real quick like, what? Esteem, trophies. Let's see. Let's see where, let me do a quick reminder. Where is Venus? Yeah, Venus is in Libra. Yeah. So definitely the energy of like loveliness. Sitting in your pretty, sitting in your sexy, sitting in your carefree, sitting in your femininity. So let's really see what's going on with Taurus. Taurus, what's going on, the collective? Gang. Hope you wasn't on some bully-ish, but if you had to be, they asked for it. No, seriously, what's going on with the Taurus collective? Hopefully you're really not on some bully-ish, but like on some real-ish. If you had to, pull out the horns, they probably deserved it. Because Taurus is loyal to a fault. They really don't want to go there, but if they got to go there, they're going to go there, and they're going to go there deep. I don't know, it's coming to me. So maybe it's the energy, you feeling good because you had to release somebody, you had to leave something because it was strangling you, it was tying you up. Because I'm feeling the energy of like, I'm single again, back on the prowl. I thought it was perfect, I don't know how. I'm single again, Like, that hit for somebody out there. I'm really feeling this bad bitch energy, but it's really out of like, I had to go through something to know what I was made out of and what was I not going to tolerate. But now that I know what it is and what it isn't, ain't no hoe going to take me back to that. Someone out there feels it. Let me get one more card. We already have 2 cards that popped out. The 6 of Water, which would be like the 6 of Cups, and the Temperance card, which is patience within this deck. Let's get one more card. Saw something wanted to fly out, but it didn't fly out. One more card for the collective of Tauruses. Yeah. I'm not surprised. We have the 10 of Fire. But let me show you the 2 cards before that. The first one is the 6 of Water, followed by the Patience card. And finally, the 10 of Fire, which would be the 10 of Wands. So this is particular energy that I'm sensing here is like learning from the past, right? Because as you can see with the 6 of Water, this is someone who's like reminiscing. They're looking at their reflection and they're longing. They're lost in thoughts. And we know the 6 of Cups is the past, whether it's memories, whether it's experiences, whether it's childhood. Could be like a day ago, a month ago, a year ago, 10 years ago, whatever ago. But it's the energy of like sitting in that, right? It could be about family, could be about mother, could be about childhood. It could be about transformation, because we do have that lotus flower there. But it's the energy of like being intimate with yourself and intimate with your thoughts. And with patience here, again, you see this seclusion. You see this woman, she has a head wrap, so her head is protected. Her crown is protected. She readjusted her crown and she has it secured tightly, right? And you can see that she has her hand on her chest. I feel like with this, it's like, again, no hoe is going to take me out of my element. It's like I learned those lessons. I reached my higher esteem, my higher self. My crown chakra is activated, is well placed. And I know what I'm about. I'm not about to let nobody emotionally manipulate me like in the past. I know what is and what is not. I know how to set the boundaries. And if someone's going to take me for granted, the energy that I'm feeling, Taurus collective, if someone's going to take it, if someone's going to try to take advantage of me, I'm going to know what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. Like, I could be a shoulder to cry on, but what I'm not going to be is a doormat. What I'm not going to be is someone's second option. What I'm not going to be is the one taking disrespect and crying over it. It's the energy of like, you loved and you lost, but it's more so of like overcoming, because it's 6 and this 14 reduced gives you 5. 6 and 5 is 11. That 11, that justice, that restorative energy. I feel like you've gotten something out of this. You've reclaimed your energy back. You reclaimed your authenticity, your crown, your queendom, right? Your femininity. I feel like whatever in the past that has changed you, that has transformed you with this 10 of Fire, you burned it. You may have participated in our ceremony, the burning ceremony, where we did that in December, I believe, when we had that full moon in, Cancer. And we had that, you know, burning of the energy, especially people dealing with toxic mothers, karmic energy, toxic femininity, whatever. It was about burning that energy, because fire is another way of purification, transformation, that reborn energy. And I feel like this was on a mental and spiritual level, Tauruses. I feel like you finally realized the specialness of you, because you finally taken your own medicine. You finally healed yourself. You finally made your heart full and whole. And you realized your cup needed to be fulfilled. You needed to be loved. You needed to be nourished. And you couldn't be a mammy. You couldn't be a doormat. You couldn't be a mule. You couldn't give your best to everybody else and accept nothing in return. I really feel like you've learned who you are and what you deserve. And this is the energy that is embodying this Aquarius full moon. It's literally like setting the tone. And then with that 12 energy, because 6 and 5 is 11, adding on that 10 of Fire would make it 12. So we're definitely talking about that Pisces, the house of undoing, the house of healing, the house of even like, let's say, religion, or even secret enemies. I feel like you've picked out the ops. You saw the ops in your circle and you made your circle even smaller. But it was much needed, because the blessings are coming through. You don't want no snakes in your garden. You don't want nobody trying to steal from you, trying to plot against you, jealous of you, smiling in your face, stabbing you in your back, leaking ish. It's giving me, again, if we're going to reference Meg Thee Stallion, for whatever reason, she stopped being friends with Nicole, I believe her name was, and we'll maybe probably never know why, but it's the energy of like, know who they are the first time. Don't give someone a second chance to line those knives back in your back, because getting stabbed in the back hurts. So it's kind of like when you see somebody's up, someone's moving sideways, don't give them a second chance to fuck you over. When you see them disrespecting you, when you see their true colors, believe them the first time. And I feel like this particular energy, especially with this 10 of fire, it may have built up disrespect, a lot of taking advantage, a lot of like hardships, a lot of bullish that came with the situation. This person could have done you in the most greasiest of ways, maybe cheating, having an outside baby, taking your money, tricking it, embarrassing you, you know, flaunting on other women in public, whatever the case may be. But it's just like, never again. Really getting the energy of never again, that 12th house, and never again, using that crown chakra, using my intuition. I'm never going to let nobody manipulate me ever again. And that's the energy I'm feeling, Taurus. So for the sacred destiny card, we have flow. And as you can see, this is a full moon energy too. So we definitely releasing that purple dark energy is giving me like you have to dig deep into the subconscious. This could have been some shadow work. This could have been some Saturn return work, but it's really understanding from a deeper context of how this unraveled and how you need to do what you need to do to not ever be in the situation again. Because there's no point of learning this lesson from this particular aspect, but repeating this in different scenarios, right? And the example of we are somewhat different depending on the people in our lives and the position that they play. But also, you don't want to keep on replaying the same script of being a mule, being the second best, being taken advantage of, and in different forms, whether it's an intimate relationship, a family dynamic, a workplace dynamic. You don't want to be repeating the same script in different scenarios, period. Flow, meandering, river. A meandering river is a waterway that curves, bends, turns, and seems to swing side to side as it flows forward. Viewed from above, it looks... I just remembered that I didn't pull out a Romance Angel Oracle card, but I'm going to continue reading this because we're already here, and then I'm going to pull out the card. I got you, Tauruses. Viewed from above, it looks sinuous and even snake-like. Meandering rivers are dynamic as they wind their way across valley floors and bring life-giving sediment to new habitats. The word meander was derived from the ancient meandered river, which flows into Aegean Sea. The Greeks created symbols for meander that have been described as some of the most important symbols for the ancient Greek culture. They represented the fluid movement of water and the eternal flow of all life. The twisting patterns were also thought to represent the serpent, which was the symbol of healing, hence our present day symbol for doctors in the caduceus. Basically, whenever we see the medical symbol with the pole with the two snakes intersecting, kind of like the DNA, this is where that comes from. The sacred landscape wants you to know there are times to hold on tight to the shore and there are times to enter the flow. Notice where life is going and move in that direction. When someone shows you what it is, act accordingly. Watch for signs and follow them. Don't resist. Don't try to repaint the canvas. You see the colors, you see the final print, either accept it or dip. Don't try to change it, ride through it. He has potential. She has potential. No, that's a finished package. If this person never, ever in life changes, can you be with that person for the rest of your life? And if the answer is no, you know what to do. But are you brave enough underneath this Aquarius full moon to do what you know you ultimately got to do? Whether you pull the band-aid off gently or within one swoosh, the band-aid has to come off. And for me, because I don't like pain, I'm not feeling to rip it off inch by inch or you get my point. Little by little. I'm not feeling to do that. Rip the whole goddamn thing off so we can move on. And that might have to be a part of that 10 of fire, why you won't rip it off to move on. Do you like your own misery? Are you comfortable in your own misery? Or do you think this misery is the quote unquote best that you can do? If so, why? Back to reading. When you go with the flow, your life force expands and healing on all levels abounds. This is also the time to release old limiting patterns, forgive, and let go of the need to be right about your beliefs. If you aren't feeling the smooth currents of life, it might mean that you're being self-critical or judgmental. When you enter the flow with gratitude and love, you will find blessings surrounding you. You will enter into a state of grace and healing will abound. Space and grace for self. You got to love yourself more than saying that you in a trash ass situation, especially when you know it's trash ass. Do you love yourself enough to let it go? Or do you want to continue playing crazy with yourself? Because ultimately you're tormenting yourself if you stay in a situation that you know is trash. You're ultimately tormenting yourself. Why would you do that to yourself? Especially if you are a person who says that you love yourself. Loving yourself is an action. Love is an action, right? We cannot expect other people to love us in ways that we don't even love ourselves. And that's setting us up to be codependent for somebody else's gaze, correct? So you have to be a whole and healthy vessel before you get out there, because the energy signature and the energy frequency that you have is what is going to be reciprocated right back at you. So if you have the energy of emptiness and neediness and lack of esteem, insecurity, that's exactly what you're going to pull back. That's the exact reflection you're going to get. They may not be as needy and clingy as you, but they'll be just as like emotionally unavailable and mistrusting and insecure. They'll just depict it differently. Let's do one more shuffle. What is the love message for Tauruses? What is the love message? But I feel like this is more so old energy, or energy that's wrapping up, or energy that if you're still in this energy, it's like you're at the later phase of it. It's kind of like, yeah, I'm ready to go back out there and date type of energy. But I had to put it out there. Let's see. Because after 12 within the astrology wheel, we go back into 1, which would be Aries. So I feel like it's an ending situation, but it was a well-needed lesson to carry on with you throughout life, especially when good things happen to you, knowing that you deserve good things, period. Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment. Yeah, love on yourself. Show yourself out. You know, take yourself out. You know, do affirmations. Do meditation ceremonies. Clear out negative energies. But I feel like stop and smell the roses. Be enamored by your own beauty, especially since you got that Venus energy, Taurus. Very much live up in that Venus energy, the beauty, the love, the art, the sophistication, even, you know, the money. But it doesn't always have to be materialistic per se, but do things that make you actually happy. Because when you live in that energy signature, then you can draw people who are equally as happy and loved upon by themselves, and who can easily show that to you the way that you show it to other people. You have a Taurus until you don't have a Taurus. And a lot of people take advantage of that because they really believe Tauruses are so loyal to a fault. They will never leave a situation. They will never stand up against something that they deem is unfair. But don't underestimate the bull. Don't underestimate the bull. Speaking as a Taurus. Let's move on to Gemini. That is definitely being shown up and showed out by Doja. Doja really is out here going hard in the paint for the Geminis. I did listen to Planet Her. I have a few songs that I like. Honestly, damn near every song I like. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, it really hits on several levels. It's a bop. And I haven't heard any, like, harsh criticism of the album. So I really love it. Even the song... It's like, into ya, get into it, yeah, get into it, yeah. And truth be told, I heard that one song the first time. I was like, I don't know, like, is the rest of the album like this? I don't know if I can take a whole album in this tone of voice. Like, I don't know. And the next song came out, it was normal. And then the song after that came on, and it was normal. I was like, oh, okay. That was just one song. Thank you. Thank you for not overdoing it, Doja. Because a lot of artists find this, like, cool, weird, unique aspects about their artistry, and then they want to overdo it. Kind of like auto-tune. Don't overdo it. I'm glad it was just one song. And the song was actually legitimately good. So let's see what's going on with the Geminis. Ooh, Gemini. I'm low-key, high-key. Might be a little envious. The cards are good. Let's see if we can get one more card. We got 2 cards that came out. Especially the first one. Third card. 2 of Fire. Okay. I see why I said Doja. We got the 10 of Fire. Pisces energy heavy in this thing. This 10 of Fire is speaking of all things happiness, all things serene. You are your own treasure. You are your own pearl. Meditation and peace with the Buddha here. The treasure chest here. The flowers, your abundance. You are the rose, kissed by a rose. Okay, your chakras are abound. They are rooted, okay? You might be hearing clearly because you are ruled by Mercury, and that's the planet of communication. So you might be hearing things, especially people whispering behind your back. You following your intuitions. You dotting your I's. You're checking your information twice. You're crossing your T's. I really feel like you really on some, like, you glowing. You're in glow. It's giving me the energy. They say when pregnant women become pregnant, there's a special glow about them. I feel like there's a special glow around the energy of the Geminis. Okay? Let's see what's going on with Mercury. Mercury is in Virgo right now. Yeah. It's not even retrograde. So I feel like you talking real, like, real boss-like energy. This Virgo energy. I feel like you're really on some, like, this is me. Take me as I am. I'm going to expand. I'm going to do rock if I feel like it. I'm going to do R&B if I feel like it. I'm going to do hip-hop if I feel like it. I'm going to do country if I feel like it. It's really the energy of, like, I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table, and make room because I'm here. And it's not out of arrogance or cockiness, but out of, like, I am self-assured. I know who I am. I know my value, and I'm zen than a mug. So I'm just going to show up and be the best that I can. And even little Miss Doja Cat, she fell on stage and she hopped her ass back up like the professional that she is, like Beyonce would want her to, and continue performing because that's what she does. She's an artist and a performer. Both Queen of Virgo, Beyonce, and Gemini, who's giving me that je ne sais quoi energy, right? She's building up her catalog as well as her iconage. And I'm feeling like this for Geminis in general, not just Doja. With this transformational energy, I feel like there might be some people, places, and things that you had to leave behind to get to this stage. And it's giving me the energy. It's interesting because I was having a conversation about how a lot of these rap girlies, these R&B girlies, they talk about love, they talk about relationships, but they always have a common, like, love, sorry, broke up, dude mistreated me, girl, empowered anthem type of tease, right? And it's usually this prototype. It's the narcissistic black male who thinks the world is against him. However, every woman of every race desires him. However, he doesn't want to work and earn his keeps, but he thinks that everybody deserves to kiss his ass, kiss his feet, and throw money at him. Like, it's just the average narcissistic black male dysfunction. And I feel like with this particular energy with transformation, that's not necessarily saying kick all the black male out of your lives, but it's giving me the energy of, like, as you transform, as people start treating you within the energy signature of this 10 of waters, there might be some hater ass energy that was trying to keep you onto this lower energy of, like, you owe me, or you acting funny, or you think you too good, you think you all that. Is that jealousy, is that envy energy. And instead of these people celebrating you and honoring you and loving you, you had to let them go because you realize that they're very childish and they couldn't match your energy. They were only going to throw salt in the game. And you realize that this energy will eventually transform, and they might be your secret ops. They might be calling, let's say this is like a celebrity situation, calling the blogs and leaking information, probably not true. This person feels like you owe them, or that now they're starting to act funny because they feel as if they should get what you got. So I feel like with this transformational energy, Pisces being the 10 of water, transformation being that Scorpio energy. To get your happiness, to get your comeuppance, to get your blessings, you had to let things go because you realize that they both can't exist in the same realm. Hence why we have this Two of Fire. This Two of Fire is the Two of Wands, a crossroad. You had to see things from a higher perspective, and you had to be enlightened by their actions, because actions speak louder than words. And you would know this being a Gemini ruled by Mercury. So I feel like the more you get more pronounced in what you do, you had to let people go. And it might have been hard, especially if you've known these people since childhood. These are people that you thought that would always be in your circle, always be in your square, especially if these are people who you have a lot deep, intimate, feelings for. This could be family, this could be friends, this could be an ex. But it's like, I'm not going to be with someone who sabotages me, especially when it comes to my career, my happiness. And I feel like someone felt they were equal to you, or they had access to you, or you were quote unquote safe when you were in a smaller position. But now that you're rising into your glory, into your purpose, into your path, now they feel threatened because they might not have access to you. But also with every higher level, not only is there a bigger demon, but you have more options. When you climb up the hierarchy or the ladder of like affluence and prestige and social mobility, you have access to things that you didn't have when you were on the lower ring. And I feel like there might be a person or people within your circle who feel as if like you shouldn't rise up the ladder, because you rising up the ladder to them means that to them, this is the way that they're thinking. Oh, you think you're better than me? Oh, that was just a lucky break. These things don't last forever. It's just giving me hater ass energy. And it might not just be like a secret ops that's pretending to be your friend on some Judas Jesus shit, but it could be like a significant other. It could be like a brother, a cousin, a mother. It's the energy of like, why should it happen to you? Why not me? You can't trust that energy. Let's get a Romance Love Angel Oracle card for the collective of Geminis. We have, stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So I feel like with this situation, it was a dub. It was something that you maybe needed in the meantime, in between time. But now that things are elevating for you, it's kind of like, be amicable about it, be diplomatic about it. Don't be, petty or whatever, but like move on, period. Because you got options. As you can see, baby girl got flowers. She's in open space. She's dripped in her lovely. She carefree. She's not asking what time it is. Not asking who she got to check in with. She's living in her Venusian energy. And I feel like there might be someone in your circle who feels like you don't deserve it, or they deserve it more than you. Dang. I was going to shuffle the card and ask what was this about, but Voyage came out. But let me shuffle. Spirit, can you give us some insight with the Sacred Destiny card for the collective of Geminis? What do they need to know? It'd be interesting if Voyage came out again. I don't believe so, but you see stranger things within readings. We have Fulfillment. Ew. This is giving me full moon type of tease too. You are your own wish fulfillment. I feel someone's jealous, or your wishes are coming true. Someone's jealous. Because they looking at their own and they're like, why not me? Why you? Why not me? And they're literally comparing. It's giving me like frenemy type of tease too. Fulfillment. Latin peach tree. The peach tree blossoms early, and because of this, it is often a symbol of spring and a renewal of life. It is also the Chinese symbol of happy marriage and of fertility. In some tradition, it stands for immortality. Ripe peaches also portend fertility, fecundity, and great fulfillment. In Korean traditions, the peach represents happiness, riches, honors, and longevity. In the Renaissance, peaches represented the heart and love and speaking the truth from one's heart. The sacred landscape wants you to know fulfillment is at hand. No matter what is occurring in your life, put your attention on what is splendid, pleasurable, and luscious. Find bliss in the moment. Love fully, deeply, without hesitation. Cherish your friendships. Fill your life with people, experiences, and places that give you delight. Let go of people and things that don't feel empowering and drag your energy down. Hence this transformational energy here. You no longer need to put the needs of others ahead of your own. If you've had any health issues, or a ripe peach represents a return to better health. Savor your life and gusto with grace. Experience and embrace life in all its permutations. Ooh, permutations. If you want to conceive a baby or a new project or start a new relationship, this card is an excellent omen for a great outcome. Yeah. F the past, F the situation. We moving on. It is what it is. Thank you, next. It's really that energy. Thank you, next. It's interesting. I was talking about that because Doja got a song that goes, niggas ain't shit. It's called like Ain't Shit. And she's talking about how like she's just talking about niggas ain't shit, can't pay bills. I just feel like it's an energy, someone who felt like they needed to quote unquote humble you, because if you got big headed, you wouldn't need them. Someone's trying to ike you. Someone's trying to ike you and try to put you as a Tina. Someone's trying to ride your back. Someone feels as if they are entitled to what you got. Ew. Kick that parasite to the curb. Yuck. Whew. Especially being the air sign. We're talking about an air full moon. Leave that. Moving on. We're moving on to Cancer. What's going on, Cancers? Have you been in your feelings? It's just in that I said that, I just thought it was Safari, Nicki Minaj's ex, who is legitimately a Cancer. And we know how Safari be. Are you a Safari? Are you an F person? Dude? Girl? Being an F person is gender neutral. Let's do one more shuffle for the Cancers. Have you been dealing with an F person? You had to come to the side, to the left, because it wasn't doing you right. Let's see. What is going on for the collective of Cancer spirit? Give us some insight for the collective of Cancerians. What they going through, what they doing, who they doing it with. I kid you. Oh, I thought it was transformation, but it's not. We got 2 cards. Let's get a 3rd card. Yeah. Let's get a 3rd card for the Cancer collective. How has life been treating the Cancers? Have you been moving? Have you been moving? Into what? Into whom? All right, we got a 3rd card. So our first card is Justice. And it's number 11. For some reason, every time I see this card in this particular deck, I think of a Native American woman. So you might be going through some like tribal rituals, might be in tune with spirit or in tune with yourself. Maybe even doing like some like spiritual pagan aspects. Maybe some occultism. Another form of justice is maybe restorative justice. We have the Messenger of Fire here, which would be the Knight of Wands. And then we have the 3 of Water here, which would be the 3 of Cups. Cancers. Okay. So Cancers, right? My name is Sweetie. I'm a Cancer. My body like a dancer. Okay. I'm feeling the energy of like, if you dealing, and we dealing with family. Okay. If you dealing with a baby mom, baby daddy situation, this is the energy that I'm getting. I'm getting like, someone got into a situation way too fast, way too quickly, and they crash with this Page of Fire situation. The Page of Fire is usually like a gutter rat or a gutter snake, but it's talking about someone who's young, impulsive. They have a lot of energy and stamina, but they don't have longevity. They don't see their way through something. They're in it, and they're in Eros energy. They're in it, and then they're gone. They're in for a good time, not a long time, a nice night, and then they're gone. It's not consistent energy. And within this particular spread, I feel as if like someone of the past was very childish, and I feel like they were stuck on themselves, because this is giving me like birthday candle type of tease. This is a person who always thought that they were the greatest thing since sliced bread. They felt like they were what made life, right? They really sucked their own dick, so to speak. There's a person who's very arrogant, very brash, very self-absorbed, very into their looks. This is someone who's very pompous and arrogant. And I feel like this particular person may have created children that they shouldn't have, or created relationships that were fleeting but leading people on. And I feel like they finally crashed. I feel like with this particular energy, this person had to redeem themselves, especially if we're talking about a justice court situation, whether it's child support, whether it's a marriage that they had to annul, or whatever the case may be. I feel like this particular Cancerian person, or someone dealing, or Cancer dealing with this particular energy, it was kind of like, we found love in a hopeless place. It's giving me the energy of like, I wasn't dealing with my shadow, so I used you to fuck on. He wasn't dealing with his shadow, so he used me to fuck on, and we fucked on and created something that we wasn't supposed to. I feel like it's one of those energies where it was consistent. Like this person was continually evading maturity, evading the law, evading accountability, but they had to crash. And I feel like they were on some like more the merrier with this Three of Water. I feel like this person was always breadcrumbing people, always engaging in relationships, always wearing a secret mask. It's giving me tease of, I think the guy's name is Jay. In one of those Ayama Fix My Life episodes, a dude with like 36 kids, it's giving me that type of tease. And that person didn't realize that they were a wounded child. Maybe they were never loved upon properly. Maybe they were seen as a trophy kid. Maybe they weren't treated well in childhood. They were just a prop, or whatever the case may be. Or their parents gave them everything that they wanted. They were spoiled. But I feel like this particular person had to have an ego death, and everything had to be exposed with this particular energy. I know it's not the energy that the Cancers expect, but I feel like it's one of those situations where it's like, back to life, back to reality. Like this person was just so stuck in their shadow, or like really just delusional, like deep into their subconscious mind of like effery. Like this person did not want to take accountability, and it was like, it had to give, because it was an MO pattern. This person could have always pointed finger at other people, made excuses for their behaviors, taken advantage of people, but it was them. But they would never recognize it was them until everything came out in the wash. And it could have came out publicly, because we're also dealing with this Libra energy with the Justice card. This person was very much of a social butterfly, wanting to climb up the ranks socially, but this person was doing it in a very like backwards, backstabbing, underhanding way, kind of like a Jeffrey Madoff type of way, or maybe even a Jeffrey Epstein type of way. But this person finally got caught in their own delusional game. Let's do one more shuffle, and we're talking about Cancer energy. So we're talking about that moon energy, and currently we're talking about the full moon in Aquarius, or we're talking about that new moon that happened in Leo, and we're dealing with the fire energy of the messenger of fire. Like somebody got exposed for just being a fuck person. That's what I'm getting. Someone just got exposed for being a fuck person. Maybe having secret babies, not paying child support, getting in debt to try to floss on people, trying to keep up with the Joneses. Maybe other chicks came out and was like, this person was doing this person was lying, this person owes me money, this person screwed my sister. It's giving me someone got exposed for just being a dirtbag. The card we have is getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. This is, I don't know, something in the cards, her face. I don't know, something in her face looks like untrustworthy. It's giving me like Joker type of tease where the lips are split and it has those like lines, those like stitches. It's giving me someone who's fraudulent, someone's wearing a mask. This is the energy of someone who tries to trauma bond with you, or someone who tries to love bomb you. So they make you feel as if like, this is something so deep, so profound. We were destined to be together. You're my soulmate. And they manipulate that for loyalty. They manipulate that to get access to you. This is someone who's an emotional manipulator, someone who who might even be a gaslighter, someone who uses the most intimate parts of you to manipulate you, to take advantage of you, to lie to you. This is a person who pretends to be your Prince Charming when in reality they're the devil in disguise. It's giving me that type of tease. But this is like their MO. Like, this is the way that they do this for survival. Like, this is a person who's never really got it on their own. They've always attached themselves to people. But because they're an empty vessel, they're an energy vampire, and maybe even a narcissist, an emotional narcissist, they mask their parasitic ways by triggering your own shadow, triggering your own childhood wounds or inadequacies or need to be loved, need to be desired. You know, oh, my biological clock is ticking. I want to have a child. I want to get married. Like, they tap into that and they manipulate that. They try to find an entryway to hook themselves onto, especially women. I'm getting heavy women energy. Could be a male Cancerian, or someone is a Cancer dealing with a male with this prototype. Let's get one more card, the Destiny card for the collective Cancers. Ooh. And all that spillage, only one turned over, so it actually worked out. Spirit was telling me to look at the card again, Mermaid. I feel like this person, especially if you're a Pisces or you have heavy Pisces aspect, this person was drawn to you because you were very inviting, very intuitive, very loving, very caring. You were very mystical. They couldn't really figure you out, but they were drawn to you like a moth to a flame. They wanted to know you. They wanted to breathe you, taste you, embody you. But I think it was for control. I think it was really for domination, because they really couldn't understand how pure you were, how much you were a pearl, and they really saw the value in you, and they wanted you to balance their bullshit. They wanted you to like accept them at their lowest and like ride it out for them. But they used your pearls and try to turn them into shit out, or they try to treat your pearls like fake plastic pearls. It's kind of giving me like cubic zirconia or zirconia, whatever, versus real diamonds. You're a real gem, but they didn't match your value. They didn't match your ethic. They didn't match your je ne sais quoi. So instead of like matching you, they try to bring you down because it's easier access, but also like they knew you could do better. They knew you could do better, but if they psychologically fucked you and even trapped you with a baby, then you wouldn't know it, or you would stay longer in a shitty situation because, you know, everybody wants to be loved. Everybody has potential. Gateway. That's a sacred destiny card. See what gateway is given to the collective. Gateway. Enchanted Valley. There are places on the planet where the veil between physical realms and the mystical dimensions is especially thin. Mermaid energy. You're not supposed to be real. You're not supposed to be this pure. You're not supposed to be this wholesome, this loving, this authentic. They really thought you was a mystical creature. And instead of like stepping to the plate of their divinity, tapping into their king of water energy, king of cups energy, they tried to like mount you and have domination. Silly. These places are called portals, vortex, or spiritual gateways. In mythology, they are revered as places where things beyond ordinary reality can occur. Mystics, visionaries, shamans can traverse these realms and the next through these places. In Celtic traditions, the wee folk, fairies, and elves easily move through these portals and have access to these magical places. The Enchanted Valley is the place where these portals often appear. The sacred landscape wants you to know magic is afoot. Wondrous events are unfolding. Profound revelations and inner illuminations are close at hand. It is now much easier to manifest your dreams. This is an excellent time to take action on your visions for your future. A small amount of action now will generate much bigger results. Gateways to spirit are opening, and there are places where the veil is especially thin. Fairies and elves are supporting you. Wonders are blossoming in your life. Watch for them. Open your heart to hollow, magical energy. The more you become aware of the small marvels in your life, the more they will grow in magnitude. So Cancer, you're very mystical. You have this very like occult or rich or like magic or blessed or even like spiritual insight, coming out as a mermaid energy and coming out as a unicorn energy. Like someone loves your divinity, but they just don't know how to do right by you. So you got to cut the access. That's what I'm getting. Get your vindication, get your judgment. You know, if you got to take them to court, take them to court. But I feel like with this particular energy, don't let nobody abuse your magic. Hell nah. Shoot. Charge them full price and tax them interest. Period. Or tax. Tax or interest. However the situation go. If they owe you, tax them with interest. If they buying whatever service or they in your face for whatever reason, charge them a tax. Whatever the case may be, set your standards high. Now Leo. And Leo, see, well, Leo going to Virgo. See what's going on for the Leo collective. Let's shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Ooh, Leos, hopefully you had a great birthday. Hopefully y'all celebrated. Even though, you know, I don't know what a birthday has been looking like since, you know, the pandemic and everything else. So birthdays have kind of went... But hopefully you enjoyed yours regardless, because I enjoyed mine. But I'm hoping my next birthday could be a whole lot more ba-ba-boom. But this is not even about me. This is about you, Leo. I know you think this song is about you. Don't you? Don't you? Ha ha hee hee. Got the money. Thought you're gonna get the keys. Greedy, greedy, greedy. Try to have your cake and eat it too. Like someone might have been taking advantage of you. Someone may have been full of themselves. Maybe like not self-aware. Maybe like they're aloof. Or someone who's just very self-absorbed. I'm feeling the energy of like, you saying like, this is not even about you. Like, that's not even about that. Like, you never listen. Like, you having to check somebody about their attitude or their behaviors or their thought patterns. Like, you really had to be like setting boundaries, firm boundaries. And I felt like it could have been like very fast and it could have came off as brash, but it's like a situation you've been having a lot of patience with. And now it's like, no, I can't do this anymore. Cut to the shit, cut to the chase. This is what it is. It might have been tough love too. They don't know what they had until it's gone. It might be a situation like that. What's going on with the Leo collective? Spirit, give us some insight for the Leos. What's going on, Leos? Okay, first card. Let's get a second card for the Leo collective. Second, let's get a third card for the Leo collective. What's going on, Leos? Ooh, okay. Got 3 cards. Our first card is the 4 of Fire. Our second card is the Page of Pentacles, or the Page of Earth within this deck. And then we have the King of Fire, or the King of Water, which would be the King of Cups within this particular deck. So what I am gathering here, Leo, is that there is a need to celebrate or a need to like self-care or like it's giving like readdress your crown, but it's more so like the difference between, let's say, Gemini. No, not Gemini. It might have been Cancer. I feel like with this particular energy, it's not necessarily like cutting people off. Maybe it was Gemini. Okay, whatever it was. A previous reading that I just did a couple minutes ago. Point is, it's not necessarily the energy of having to cut people off because they don't respect you or they're taking advantage of you. This is more so like, I need to go back to self so I remember why I am special to myself, why I matter to myself. Like, what are my great qualities with this 4 of Fire? Four of Fire talks about a new home. It could talk about a place that you think as home or consider as home or stable as home. It could be also be a celebration, halfway to marriage, maybe a proposal, moving in with someone that you care about. But with this Four of Fire, the way it's depicted within this particular card, this is a woman playing a flute by herself, chilling in her femininity. She has her butterfly wings, so this is transformation. I feel like this could be a healing ceremony. This could be isolation, like what we do here underneath the full moon. But it's really like appreciating your sacredness, your own sacred space. It's like your own hobby, your own thing, and you're keeping it to yourself. Like, it could be like a secret skill. It could be like something that people might find is weird or nerdy, like magic, but like you know how to do magic tricks and that's just your own thing. It could be whatever the case may be, but it's really honing into yourself and like really finding that light, preserving that specialness for yourself, your own special hobby, your own alone time, self-care time. And then we have the Page of Earth for Leos. I feel like this is something that you're learning. You might be learning to meditate. You may be learning to self-care and wellness and what that looks like to you. We also see this is a character with wings too. Not necessarily butterfly wings, but they have wings of some sort. And I feel like with this is like you're trying to learn how to expand your wings. I feel like this might be something that you're really just not used to. This is something very new to you. So you're taking your baby steps, and I feel like you're giving yourself enough space and grace to be in this energy, especially with this King of Water. This is very much tapping into your emotional availability, your emotional intelligence, really being there sincerely for yourself, really holding yourself, really apologizing and accepting and embracing your true self. And that might even mean stepping away from people, places, and things that don't accept it. This could be a father figure or males in your life that don't support your situation, or you doing something that you love that draws in that soul tribe that loves it too. And because you both love the same thing, you can love each other from a very authentic and pure point of space. Let's see what are the love messages for Leo. It's really just like, this is some real breezy ass energy, creative ass energy, talented energy. It might be something from childhood, something you've been passionate about, but no one knows about it. Because maybe you feel like, well, it's a dweeb thing to still be interested in. I'm an adult now. Like, this is not something that we say out loud. It could be whatever, but it's your thing. And I feel like it makes you feel good. And it's not illegal, so why not? But it's really just being confident in that energy. Especially if you're in a position of leadership, this might be more like vulnerable, or a situation where instead of you knowing it and taking leadership and like standing in that sun energy that Leo embodies, is really the energy of just like letting things just go and just letting things flow. Currently, the sun is in Leo, so I don't really have to check where that is. But it's the energy of like being okay with being the student. Sometimes we are chiefs. Sometimes we're Indians. In this situation, I feel like you're an Indian, especially for the fact that this little boy looks Native American. It's like being okay with being in the position of an Indian and not feeling inferior. It's like we all learn at our own pace. So giving yourself enough space and grace to be in that energy. Okay, let's get a card for the Leo collective in regards to love. What's going on with the Leos? Let's get some check-ins. Let's get some insight for the collective of the Leos. What's going on for the Leos, Spirit? Give us some insight. And it might be like out of, again, childhood shit. It might be like, you know, someone who told you like, you're too old for this is childish, you know, I thought you left this behavior alone. People could have bullied you as a kid for liking this. Your parents may have like told you like you're too old to do this, or they didn't allow you to explore this, especially if you were parentalized as a child, meaning that your parents treated you more like an adult and put more adult responsibilities on you instead of allowing you to be a child. This could be, let's say your parents didn't speak English, so you were translating for them, or assisting them pay bills. You got a job as a teenager to help pay bills. Maybe you were doing the laundry and the cooking. Maybe you were in charge of looking after your younger siblings, whatever the case may be, that's parentalized. So it could have been a situation like you didn't even get to live your childhood, and of course you're an adult now, but you're incorporating aspects of what made you feel pure and lighthearted as a child, incorporating it into your adult life. Just because you get older doesn't mean that, you know, your heart necessarily gets older. Your heart still stays as pure and youthful as days on a swing. So we have for Leo, you deserve love. You are lovable. This is a really sweet message. And I feel like the deeper you get into whatever this thing is that makes you feel zen within self, rooted within self, confident within self, it's that light-hearted, pure energy. And with this arrow, you are going to attract the energy that you put out there, the frequency that you put out there. So you will find your own, you know, club of freaks, group of weirdos, coveting of creeps, or whatever the case may be that they call you. You're going to find your own tribe because everybody belongs somewhere. So it's like, if something's not working out, go somewhere else. Go where you are celebrated and not tolerated with this 4 of fire energy. Don't make anybody make you feel inferior. Don't make anybody make you feel as if, you know, they're doing you a favor by letting you be in their space. Like, hell no. If they don't get you, then F it. There will always be other people who will. They will love you and accept you exactly for who you are. Period. Might mean you have to leave this 4 of fire, this home energy, to find your own soul tribe. Take the risks, invest in branching off. Because give me the energy. As you can see, for me, this boy is actually pointing that way. The way I see this card when it's spread out in front of me, they're moving forward. Same thing with this Cupid's bow energy. They're moving forward. So if you don't feel like you're at home, go somewhere where you feel like this King of Water energy. Let's see what this Sacred Destiny card is for the collective of Leos. What's going on with my Leos? Okay. We have forgiveness. And we have a crescent moon here too. Let's see what forgiveness has for us. Sunset glow. As the sun sinks behind the horizon and the red seas and oranges turn to lavenders and deep purples of the ensued night, the day is complete. Sunset signifies that a new cycle has begun. As each star emerges into the velvet sky, we enter a realm of the dark unknown, where magic and even the mystery of life itself seems to shimmer above us. To be regretting that the day is done is to miss the glory of the starry heavens above. The sacred landscape wants you to know it is human to want to hold on to the past, our memories, experiences, and relationships. However, there can be times when we are carrying so much of the past that we can't fully see the present. The past doesn't need to equal the future. Just because you had a pattern or a recurring challenge in the past doesn't mean that it needs to reoccur in the future. The key is to be willing and ready to simply and cleanly let go of the hold that the past has on you. The past is gone and it's okay to let it go. The way to do this is to fully immerse yourself in the here and now. Be super aware of the sights, sounds, smells, textures, and energy of your present. When you do this, the past simply vanishes and the glory of the present emerges. Whew. Yes, release. Again, if this is not where you feel comfortable, where you feel loved, where you feel honored, where you feel respected, leave. If respect is no longer served at the table, it is time for you to get gone, period. And trust and believe, they'll actually respect you more, especially that Leo energy about respect and your sense of worth, right? People are going to respect you more when you know who you are and what you tolerate and what you're not tolerating, especially the people who are taking advantage of you. Let's move on to Virgo. What's going on with my Virgos? Cold rulers or co-sharers of the planet Mercury, basically. Gemini and Virgo both are associated with Mercury. So, and we know Mercury is currently in Virgo, so that is its secondary natural home planet. Like currently Venus is in Libra, which is Venus's second, you know, home away from home, vacation home from Taurus, I guess you could say. So Virgo should be having really good luck in routine, whether it's work, whether it's health, whether it's like schoolwork or whatever the case may be. But let's see what the card has for the collective of Virgos. What's going on with the Virgos? But also Virgos are sister signs with Pisces. Now we currently know Neptune is in Pisces in retrograde. So there might be certain like things that might make you feel stuck because you're overthinking things. So it's like fear, fake evidence appearing as real, especially if you're getting into the routine of things, going back to work, going back to in person or things of that nature. You might feel overwhelmed. You might feel anxious. You might feel nervous. You might not trust your instincts or judge if you really can do something, if you're qualified to do something. It's giving me the energy of like, maybe possibly imposter syndrome. We have two cards here. Let's get a third. But more so of like, you need a serious pep talk. That's what I'm feeling. It's nothing really, really harsh, but it's like, no, believe in yourself. Believe in your own magic. You are the magician. Hello. Gemini, Virgo energy. Hello. And we started off with the magician energy. Hello. It's like, believe in your magic. Believe that you are that ish, period. Because you are. So our first card is the Ace of Air, which is like the Ace of Swords. Our second card is the Eight of Fire, which is like the Eight of Wands. And then we have the Page of Fire, which is like the Page of Wands. So these are the three cards that we have for the spread for Virgos. So with this particular energy, it might feel like things are happening way too fast, or you feel like communication is lost in the shuffle with this Ace of Air and this Eight of Fire. And then we have the Page of Fire as well. You might feel as if you need things to slow down a little bit because things are just happening way too fast. It might even feel the energy of like, you know, things feel daunting, things feel heavy, especially in the chest area, especially in like the vocal cords area. I feel like there might be things that are expected of you and you're just kind of like, I need time to like readjust to things. Or you might feel like things are heavy, like things are mounting on you that needs to get done. You're always like on the hamster wheel and things aren't leveling itself out. But I feel like Spirit's asking you to see things from a higher perspective, this being a horse that's flying, right? And it's giving me tease of like it's in heaven above the natural landscape. So I feel like with this, it's like you have the wings, you have the wherewithal, you have the knowledge, you have everything you need. You have the logistics, you have the files, you have the data, you have everything, Mom, literally everything. But you have to believe that you can do it, because it doesn't matter if I give you all the support, all of this and the third. Like, you have to take on the responsibility to execute the task at hand. It's giving me tease of like the United States Army being in Afghanistan, evacuating all that other stuff, and then giving the Afghanistan government, you know, military A1 top grade weaponry from the United States. And what happened? The Taliban took the weapons. Now, that's not to say that, you know, the Taliban is a better option per se, but the Taliban was more willing to fight, even if it is against the wrong cause. And it's not for me to say what is the right cause or the wrong cause, but they're willing to fight. Government is not willing to fight. In fact, the president, the former president of Afghanistan, took millions of dollars that the United States government took from us taxpayers, gave it to the Afghanistan government, and the president took it and then dipped his ass to Dubai. So like, they don't have no integrity. They don't have no heart to fight. And no one can make anybody fight if they're not in it to win it. They don't have no heart. You can't build heart. You can't buy heart. You already got it or you don't. But I feel like with this particular energy, things could have shaken you up, especially if things weren't consistent. Your pattern has gotten choppy. You know, there was a lot of like, let's say, miscommunication, fast, rapid actions, especially in regards to like rearranging how we do business, how we do daily activities, our new normal because of the pandemic. And maybe you had a lot of downtime. Things weren't really moving. You were kind of lost in the shuffle, and now things are gearing returning back again to something that resembles normal, you might feel overwhelmed because maybe in the past, let's say the past couple of months, you felt like maybe things weren't going fast enough or things were at a particular pace, but now things are changing. You might feel like, oh my goodness, like, am I prepared for it? With this Page of Fire and this 8 of Fire, it might feel as if it's a 9 of Fire where you got to take a step back and see how much are you willing to take? How much can you bite and chew off? Like, can you do everything? Can you meet the expectation? Or even evaluating yourself and seeing, are you already casting doubt on something that you don't even know the full gravity of? It's giving me that Chiron energy, the wounded warrior. So I feel like with this particular energy, it's kind of asking you, like, is your reality real? Is your thoughts real, or is it your projection? And if it is your projection, why is it projecting that? Right? If it's just you thinking that you're inadequate or this and the third, why is that? Where's that stemming from? So it's asking you to believe in your own magic. Seeing things from a higher perspective, but it could also be like shedding things. If it is too much on your plate and it is, you know, causing you anxiety, what in your plate that you got to remove, what you need to like add more, subtract more. It's asking you to like redefine and refine your agenda, your schedule. Let's shuffle some more. Let's get some Romance Angel Oracle cards, or a card for the Virgos. Ooh. This is not bad energy, but I feel like someone's esteem is a little bit shaken up. Could have been some type of situation. Let's say someone was in a relationship, they found someone was cheating, someone was lying. Maybe there's some type of static in a situation and someone needs to do more investigation, or someone's doing investigation on someone. Someone's following the lead, following the messages, matching up the dates. It could be that type of tease too. Let's do one more shuffle. My baby's got a secret. Someone might be finding out that someone got a secret baby. Someone got secrets. Someone doing something greedy. Someone scheming behind the scenes. Someone being sneaky. Let's see what is the love messages for the Virgos. Hopefully that is not the case, but if it is the case, then I think you need to investigate. Ooh. We have true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. You might feel like this relationship is going fast and you may not trust it. And maybe you're, again, fake evidence appearing as real, searching for something that doesn't exist. And when you searching for something, you're going to find something. Is that something that you're looking for real? And is that something that you're looking for even what you wanted to actually find out? Sometimes we shoot ourselves in our foot because we're always looking for the red signs and we don't believe the green signs because we're not used to being properly loved. So when real love comes through and then real love shows its abundance, sometimes we fear it and we run away from it because we don't think we're deserving of it, or we think that it's too good to be true or too good to last. So we try to, on a subconscious or even conscious tip, not subjugate, but sabotage it because we don't think we are deserving of something that good. It might resonate for a Virgo or two out there. Let's see what sacred card comes out. Let's do one more shuffle for the collective of Virgos. Alrighty, Spirit, what you got for the collective of Virgos? What is the Sacred Destiny Oracle card? It's jumpy, but nothing's officially jumping out. Okay. I'm going to take, I was going to take one card, but they both came out. But because they both have bees in it and they kind of like give me the same type of tease, I'm going to take both of these cards out. So congratulations, Virgo. You get 2 messages. We have, the first card is New Beginnings. New beginnings, radiant sunrise. The sun is the most profound symbol of life itself, large enough to fit 1 million Earths inside it. In ancient cultures, The largest of the rising sun represented hopes and the understanding that life begins again, fresh and new. Responsible for the climate and weather of the earth, it is the symbol of birth and rebirth. It can also represent resurrection and a time of profound spiritual awakening. It symbolizes the end of darkness and the beginning of light, and initiation a whole new cycle. The sacred landscape wants you to know your life is expanding in profound and wondrous ways. New experiences and ideas are emerging. Vitality and wide open opportunities are at hand. Seize the day. This is a perfect time to begin that new project or give birth to an emerging idea. Timing is everything, and time is now. Anything and everything is possible. Good fortune awaits you. The rising sun is the ultimate symbol of the Yang principle, expanding power and activity. You are radiant and luminous. There is a glow within you that can be felt by all. It's take charge energy. It's giving me very much masculine energy, but it's giving me masculine energy of do, not just talking and beating their chest and pulling out their peen. Is the energy of doing, taking life into your own hands and riding that thing off into the sunset in the direction that you best see fit. That's what I'm getting, Virgos. Alrighty, so our next card for the Virgos, because they got two that came out, blessings. Holy Spring. In many ancient cultures, it was believed that there were some springs that were holy. Gods and goddesses were thought to reside in or near these special places, and they were revered. Greek mythology is replete with stories of these special places. Many of the Christian hallowed water sources, such as the Chalice Well, were used for sacred purposes long before Christianity. Giving me that yummy type of energy. Mermaid type of energy. Water goddess type of energy. Rose to prominence. These kinds of springs were thought to be healing waters where blessings were bestowed by mystical beings. It's giving me heavy Aquarius star energy. The sacred landscape wants you to know immense blessings are emerging into your life from those in spirit. Angels, guides, and spirit guardians are watching over you, and angelic intervention is available to you. Be open to the voice of the divine. Messages are around you. You are protected. You are safe. Have faith that your path is guided. Watch for signs that spiritual beings are present. Profound healing energy is flowing to you in wondrous ways. Refreshing, replenishing energy is filling your life. I feel like this is in love, life, and career. I feel like things are just coming together for the Virgo collectives. Now we're going to move on to the Libras. And as we know, Venus is currently in Libra right now. So this should be a doozy, an easy doozy for the Libras. What's going on with the Libra collectives? Collective, the Leaves. I don't even like the name Leaves, to be honest. I'm going to go with and stay with Libra. But if that's you and you like the nickname Leaves, then, because the Leaves remind me of dweebs, and I wouldn't want Libras to be associated with dweebs. But that's just me, though. That's just me. So what's going on with the Libra collective? My moon is in Libra. So how has this summer has been treating y'all? What y'all been into? Who you been dating? Is you been dating? What's going on, Libras? Have you been re-upping your fashion sense? Have you been talking? Have you been fool-la-lying? And if so, was it good? Was it up to your expectations? What ideas have you been birthing? What things have you been dismissing? Where have you been expanding? Libras, let me know. Let's do one more shuffle for Libras. Okay. Spirit, give us some insight in regards to Libras. What's going on with the Libra crew? What's going on with Libras? Give us some insight for the Libra Spirit. We got the King of Earth. Ooh, is that Zeddy energy? Or you getting that big bags? What's going on, Libras? Money looking real stable, real good, real thick. You bossing up in your career? Bossing up on your money? Doubling down, investing? Robin Hoods? Hitting the lotto? What's going on, Libras? Energy looking real good, huh? On my juvenile, huh? You looking... Well, got two cards that slid out, so I guess I ain't really... No. I'll take that one because that card itself turned out. All the other ones, you could see the back. But our second card is the Judgment card. So this could be like money coming in, ring, ring, ring. Do you want this money? Could be a situation like that. Could be a check that you didn't cash. It could be an old stimulus that got lost. It could be a birthday, early birthday present. Could be something. Could be another stream of income. What's going on with the Libras? Ooh, thank God I'm a Libra moon, because this energy real good. I thought I was jealous of the, jealous in quotations. I thought I was jealous of the Geminis, or the word that I actually said was envy. I thought I was envious of the Geminis, but I think Libra take the cake. I think they took the cake and the ingredients and the factory and then they dipped. Because this King of Earth energy, which would be the King of Pentacles, and this Call energy, which is the Judgment card, and this Fortune Wheel, which would be the Wheel of Fortune, tell me this energy isn't sexy. But what I'm getting here with the King of Pentacles energy, which is Taurus, Libra, Virgo energy, Call energy, Scorpio energy, Wheel of Fortune energy, which is Jupiter energy. Why is it leaving my head right now? Sagittarius. I wanted to just say Jupiter, like it was a actual zodiac sign. I'm like, no, that's the planet. Well, what's the zodiac? Sagittarius. So yeah, the Sagittarius energy. You might be dealing with one. You might have heavy aspects of that or these three elements. But what I'm getting here is like a lucky win. Like it's a lucky win. It's like getting 777 on like the slot machine and like winning it all. And I feel like with this particular energy, you didn't really have to work for it because we have the Wheel of Fortune here. This good luck, good things coming your way. Things are aligning. Life is finally putting itself together, piecing itself together. And you don't really have to do much work to make it happen. Especially with Venus being in your home planet, it makes you feel secured in the way that you engage with the collective, the way that the collective sees you, your position within the collective, the way that they receive your messages, the way that they show their love, they show their support, the way that they have your back, especially through the times that are kind of dark or kind of tumultuous. Like you really see who are your friends, who are your people when it's time to show up and show out, because everybody wants to be good when the liquor's flowing, the food is good, and everything is everything. The bank account is thick. People don't want to come through when it is a disaster, when it is a pitfall, when there is a detour, when there is a delay. Now people are acting like they didn't know you, that you never fed them. And I feel like with this particular energy, especially if you've been dealing with parasitic people, especially when it comes to finances, people who don't give as much as you give, or always has their hand out, or they expect more from you, or they give you the bare minimum and take more for themselves. So like kind of like big corporations like Amazon. I feel like with this particular energy, you getting yours back, especially if you were dealing with a male. Let's say this is a husband energy, a father energy, a baby daddy energy. If this person did you greasy, this person's going to have to tone their actions. Let's say this is a situation where you were down on your luck. This might be a male within your circle that comes in and quote unquote saves the day, but it's really that they're making sure and protecting you to make sure that you don't have to make a certain judgment call that would be bad luck, that would give you bad karma. So it's kind of like where certain banks, they do the overdraft fee, and like you quote unquote overdraft over like $2. So you had $2 like negative in your account. So the bank covered it, but now they're charging you that $2 plus their overdraft fee. I feel like with this particular energy, this male or this like King of Earth energy steps in, so you won't have to make that judgment that's going to have you in that Scorpio debt energy, that heavy energy, that burden energy. I feel like something comes in that really is like a thief in the night. It's by surprise. It's something unexpected. It's something like a windfall, a whirlwind, where it kind of comes in the nick of time and you didn't even see this coming. It's like out of nowhere. It's like 3 seconds on the shot and you win the winning game. This call card being 20 and this Wheel of Fortune being 10. 20 and 10 to give you gives you 30, which is reduced gives you 3. I feel like this energy is coming. This energy is created. This energy is a new beginning, a fresh new start for the Libra energy, especially when it comes to whatever hard-hitting decisions that you had to make in regards to your finances. What bills are going to get paid first? What things that you have to put on layaway, or whatever the case may be. I feel like this energy is coming in to really stabilize you, especially if you've been going through hardships. You've been going through this stuck and stagnant energy. The wheel is finally moving in the direction that best suits you. And as a Taurus, your sister sign, nothing says good like a King of Pentacles, you know? Let's see what is the love messages for my Libras, my sisters. Because we are sisters. We stick together. Getting cheater girls type of thing. Could be a sister. Could be a sister that comes through. Or like, let's say your sister's husband or something like that comes through. Could be thinking about sisterhood. Maybe your sisterhood didn't come through. Let's see. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. And I was just singing cheater girls. So I feel like with this particular energy, whatever this benefit is with this King of Pentacles and this Wheel of Fortune, Libra, you'll see it to come, especially after this full moon in Aquarius, and it will come to pass. But remember who your true friends are, and remember who was with you and rocking with you when you didn't have it. Back then, they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. They all on me. Don't let nobody, again, treat you like a second option, treat you like a sucker. You got something that they want, now they in your face. If you was all by your lonesome before these riches came in, whatever these riches are, a bonus, a job, a lotto win, an accomplishment, a plaque, a certificate, whatever the case may be, whatever it is, people who want to share in the limelight, people who want to hee and ha in your face, but they wasn't with you when you was going through those grizzy times, they shouldn't be with you when you celebrating and enjoying your riches, okay? We all got to, roll up our sleeves and put in that elbow grease. And if they wasn't willing to do it, don't let them eat off of you. Period. And remember those who were loyal to you, those who were good to you too, because that's a part of the fortune. That doesn't necessarily mean that you got to share the fortune with them, but don't be on some brand new energy either. Don't be on some fake sedity shit either. It's asking you to have a balance on this. Ooh. This could be a separation or a brand new beginning, depending. And it could be both, depending on who we're talking about. But it's telling, the energy that I'm getting is like this lucky windfall coming in that's going to secure you. So make sure that those who deserve to celebrate your comeuppings have earned their spot. Let's clarify this energy for the collective Libras with this good spray. I said spray. Spread. Talking about spray, Spirit wanted to hit you with another round of forgiveness, Libras. And y'all saw me shuffle, and it slid right out there like, hey, back for a second time. So it's back for a second time. If I could find the booklet, I would read. Here it is. Forgiveness, once again. Forgiveness, sunset glow. As the sun sinks behind the horizon and the reds and oranges turn to the lavenders and deep purples of the ensuing night, the day is complete. Sunset signifies that a new cycle has begun. As each star emerges in velvet sky, we enter a realm of the dark unknown where magic and even the mystery of life itself seems to shimmer above us. To be regretting that the day is done is to miss the glory of the starry heavens above. The sacred landscape wants you to know it is human to want to hold on to the past, our memories, experiences, and relationships. However, there can be times when we are carrying so much of the past that we can't fully see the present. The past doesn't need to equal the future. Just because you had a pattern or a reoccurring challenge in the past doesn't mean that it needs to reoccur in the future. The key is to be willing and ready to simply cleanly let go of the hold that the past has on you. The past is gone and it's okay to let go. The way to do this is to fully immerse yourself in the here and now. Be super aware of the sights, sounds, smells, textures, and energy of your present. When you do this, the past simply vanishes and the glory of the present emerges. So yeah, Libras. Yeah, forgive. Forgive doesn't necessarily mean forget, and forgive doesn't necessarily mean we starting all over again. It just means while I'm enjoying these blessings, I'm not gonna let nothing negative rain on that parade by spending my good fortune being mad or being angry or being any type of way. And to enjoy this positive energy that's coming in for the Libra collective, though we're moving on to Scorpio, you need to be fully wiped away from the energy of anything that's negative, anything that's tying you to low vibrational energy, especially if you have been slighted in the past. Let go and let God so you can fully enjoy the blessings coming in. So you don't feel like you half-ass enjoyed it or you wasn't in the present. You were stuck in, trying to show out for the person who hurt you or trying to, put a thirst trap out there and, trying to get the likes. Just live. Live in your lovely. Now, Scorpios, what's going on with the Scorpio gang? I'm a Taurus in the 8th house with a Libra moon that's in the 1st house. So technically, like, we started off the reading with Aries, gang, at least house-wise, because again, my moon is in the 1st house. And I'm a Taurus in the 8th house, and we're in Scorpio. We're talking about Scorpios right now. So slight gang, or maybe just GA and not finish off the NG because halfway kind of there. But let's see what's going on for the collective of the Scorpio gang. 8th house. What's going on, 8th house? Are you keeping secrets? Are you lying? You know what's funny? I just thought about with the 8th house energy, Scorpio, it could represent like debts, loss, secrets, repression. It could also represent like homosexuality, those who are like in the closet or who are on the DL. And the thing about it, Strength card, first card that came out for the Scorpio collective. I thought about the baby talking about trying to shade the rapper Lil Nas X as if they are the same age. Lil Nas X is like in his early 20s, maybe like 21, 22. The baby's like, what, 30? Trying to shame a guy who's like almost or about 10 years younger than you about his sexuality. And this dude, the baby, has like 15 baby mamas, 82 kids. And you supposed to be hetero than a mug, but you worried about who's getting their ding-a-ling sucked. So that's supposed to be the representation of heterosexuality, huh? I don't know. Someone might be in a closet and they might be having to burst themselves out the closet, come out the closet, or something's about to leak about what they was doing in the closet. But like someone's having some type of revelation where it's like they thought there was this, but there was really that. Got temptation card here. It's either someone has something on someone, so they have to out themselves. Kind of like, what's that guy? what's that guy? The Florida guy? Andrew Gillum. On some Andrew Gillum type of ish. Someone's about to get exposed, so they're about to expose themselves or something like that. Again, that type of tease. Someone was moving sloppy and it's a spot 'em got 'em type of situation. Now we got the third card. And this is the era of clout and exposure. So it is what it is. We have the Strength card here, which is number 8. And this is Leo energy. We have the Temptation card here, which is the Devil card energy, Capricorn energy. Well, Temptation would be Devil in traditional tarot, and this would be Capricorn energy. And we have the 7 of Earth here, which is Taurus energy. So this is interesting for the collective of Scorpios. I think Pluto is currently in Capricorn and it is retrograde. Let me see if I'm correct. I am correct. Pluto is in Capricorn retrograde. Pluto is the home planet of Scorpio. So I feel like with this particular energy, like again, someone's either coming to the realization that they've been fraudulent. They want to live in their truth. Someone has some type of like scandalous information on them that they're willing to hold over this person's head or use that as a bait or leverage. And this person either has to come out literally and speak their truth, or this person is going to either try to like deny. But I feel like plausible liability, where it's just like you could deny, but like the evidence mounts against you, so it's best just to admit it. Kind of like Andrew Gillum, who was like, okay, I'm not gay, but I'm bi. And it's like, taking peen part-time is still taking peen. So I feel like it's that type of energy. Someone living a double life and is coming to the surface, especially with this Strength card. This is Leo energy. This is Sun energy. The Sun is very much big and radiant, and it is illuminating. It exposes. And I feel like someone's trying to build up the strength to have courage to speak their truth. As you see, like there's some type of pendant on this person's chest. I feel like someone has been blocking their truth, blocking their true desires, and is coming out because there's some type of like tracking. I feel like it's either like through text, it's either through like some type of action, some type of recording, something there. It could be the lust of money, the lust of power, the lust of vices in general, like drugs, alcohol. It could be like they were sloppy with whom they've engaged with sexually, but I feel like this came out. This person could have been tricking money, taking money, spending it on hookers. It could be something like that. I'm getting with this Scorpio energy, like this person, especially since we're dealing with temptation, we're dealing with that shadow aspect Scorpio energy. And with this particular deck, we see the Devil card is temptation. It's a treasure chest and it's a forbidden fruit. I feel like this person was looking for love in all the wrong places, or using sex for love, or trying to like manipulate, emotionally manipulate, but this person was very immature and very sloppy, and they left a trail. And I feel like that trail is money wise. They left a trail. Whether it's like Venmo receipts or something is coming out. It's kind of like that senator or congressperson who was like having sexual risque conversations with an underage girl, and he was like, yeah, she was 18, but for him to find out she's 17 or something like that. I think his name was Gates. But the point is, like, something's coming to the surface, and I feel like there's like some type of money trail or receipts or something, and this is gonna blow someone's whole persona apart. Scorpio energy. Especially dealing with children, dealing with relationships. I feel like someone's gonna get outed. Especially if they were in that low vibrational Scorpio energy, whether they were in that future mask on, mask off, perpetual baby daddy, broken family, manipulation. Like someone's going to be outed for being a fraud, being a fake. Ooh. I feel like someone's bisexual. I was just talking about Andrew Gillum. I just realized the Strength card here, there's a woman depicted on here. The Temptation card is an apple and a treasure chest. And the 7 of Earth is a male. Again, a Native American male. I feel like this particular person could be identified or deals with people who consider themselves two-spirited, transgender. This person's bisexual. Like this person has some type of kink, some type of quirk, some type of like sexual discretions that they've kept secret, but is about to come out to the surface. Strength being a woman, Seven of Earth being a male, and then that forbidden fruit. Like someone's gay or bisexual, but they have not admitted to themselves or the people they've been engaged with. It's a secret, but that secret's going to come out. And let's see what is the Sacred Destiny card. Instincts. Oh, purity. And another deck, this white fox is the Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck. The fox is the crown chakra and the wolf is the crown chakra, and it says instincts. So when this card came out, I was like, instincts, and I was like, nope, wrong deck, wrong deck, woo, wrong deck. The deck is on top of all these other decks, and I don't want to have a tumble situation, but you can Google it yourself. Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck. Type in instincts and you will see it's a white wolf. It's the same thing with this purity card. So someone has to like speak their truth. Someone has to like take off the mask. Someone has to like be honest with themselves. Be honest with the people that they engage with. The last thing you want to happen is to be outed, or people know that something's funny because people are itching and burning, if you catch my drift. Or you having babies that you wasn't really wanting to have to prove that you're cis hetero or whatever, when in actuality you might be a little bendy. Was it hetero flexible? First snow. Before the first snow, the earth is dark and cold. Fallen trees from autumn storms lay haphazardly atop the decaying leaves that cover the forest floor. However, when the first snow arrives, the darkness and decomposing soil are replaced by a purity that is light and bright. In the sunshine, the individual snowflakes atop the snow drifts sparkle with crystalline light. Harsh sounds are muffled. Sharp corners and rugged edges are muted. Everything feels fresh and anew. Debris seemingly disappear beneath the pristine white landscape. Softly falling snow illuminates the environment in a diffusion of swirling forms at night. In the light of the full moon, the first snow is glowing and serenely silent, turning everything into an enchanted fairy tale realm. In some mystical traditions, descending snow symbolizes the transmission of knowledge from a higher plane, the heavens, to a lower planes, the earth, thus bringing purity to the earth. The sacred landscape wants you to know, no matter what has happened in the past, everything can be fresh and new again. The purity of your soul is shining through everything that you encounter. You are entering into a period of grace. Simply open your heart and know that the best is yet to be. The past does not need to equal the future. Your future can be and will be shimmering, sparkling, and bright. Old limiting patterns are dropping away. Reoccurring challenges are releasing. This is a time of redemption, forgiveness, and holy healing. Woo! The energy has been about releasing, which of course, because this is full moon energy, it is releasing in general. New moon is accepting and manifesting. But nonetheless, it's really the energy of purification, just standing in your authenticity. Just be honest. You can't be honest with nobody else until you're honest with yourself. Let's get a love angel romance oracle card. I was about to wrap up for Scorpios and like, next. Almost forgot y'all's card. Almost forgot. Hopefully we can get this done by 2 hours and 40 minutes. Because I want it to be super, super long. And even though I'm always like, it's going to be short for the zodiac signs. They don't be short. But that means the messages are thorough. So, you know. So one more shuffle for the Scorpios. Spirit, give us some insight into the love life of the Scorpio. What's going on with the Scorpios? What do they need to know about their love life? Children. Do not say secret kiss out in these streets. Your love life is being affected by children. And this looks like one child looks like a boy and another child looks like a girl. There could be secret children. This could be someone who keeps on having children to prove, quote unquote, that they're straight or they're this and they're that because they can create children. In their minds, they're a real man because they're having children. But I also feel like that's a way for them to anchor themselves onto women, so they'll always have access to said women because they have a child with that person, that woman, right? So they can be in the streets when they want to be and then come home and play family man for like 2 days until they're back in the streets, probably on someone else's daughter, and continue the same pattern of behavior. Like they bounce from woman to woman to woman. Daddy's a Rolling Stone type of energy I'm getting. But Scorpio, whether you're that Scorpio or you're a Scorpio dealing with that type of person, you don't. If it does really concern children, get yourself a written order, parental order, child support, and keep that thing pushing. You do not need to be anybody's lady of the night when it suits their best interest. Let's move on to the Sagittarius. What's going on, Sag? Sagittarius is in the house. I'm a Sagittarius, so you know I'm a freak. There's a song called Body Count. It's very like woman positive, female empowerment. She's like, I'm a Sagittarius in the house, so I'm a freak. Something like that. No, she's like, I'm a Sagittarius, so you know I'm a freak. Which honestly, Sagittarius are known for that. I don't come up with the rules, but they do say Sagittarius do know how to have a good time, do know how to hold their liquor, as well as they do like to, you know, engage sexually on their own accord, to say it lightly. But I feel like that's a way to like sexual shame women of Sagittarius, because no one says males are whores for being bachelors. And even if people do say men are whores, it's kind of like a brownie point than it actually is like a dismissal or critique of a character flaw. But nonetheless, let's move on to Sagittarius. It's interesting because I was wondering if this card was going to come out because it came out for Libra and it is technically your card. And one shuffle and bada bing, bada boom for the Sagittarius. You got the Wheel of Fortune, but this is your card. So good luck is coming to you, Sag. Okay. Good luck is coming to you. What's going on with the Jupiter? Jupiter, I feel like it's back in Aquarius, right? Yeah, it's retrograde. It's back in Aquarius, but it's retrograde. Okay. Bad luck? Hopefully not. What's going on? Maybe delayed luck? Maybe you're pending on your luck or pending on some type of answers. Let's say it's a court case. Let's say it's a test result. Maybe it's like in wait or delay. Let's see. What's the second card for Sagittarius is? Let's get a second card for Sagittarius. We have the Hermit card. This is number 9. So we got 10, 9. So we're going backwards. 10, 9. Oh, is your luck running out? Re-upping on that luck? I don't feel that luck, but maybe the luck has ran out. Maybe it's one of those situations where, let's say you've had good luck in a situation, dumb luck, good fortune has been happening, and now it's like you can't skate on that good luck, you can't skate on that charm, you can't skate on what you did a year ago or who you knew it for 3 years. Like now you have to rely on like actually knowing the situation or going about it another way. Because yes, we have the Wheel of Fortune here, but we also have the Hermit as the second card, and we also have the Two of Fire, which would be the Two of Wands. So I feel like with this particular energy, it might be something where it's asking you to challenge yourself, come out of your comfort zone and do something different. Like, of course, you are a great basketball player if you're playing against like 3-year-olds. Like, yes, you can dunk on one of those little kiddie basketball hoops. But like if you play someone your own age, your own height with skill levels that is competitive to yours, then you're not the greatest person on the court. It might be a situation where it's like you need to challenge yourself. Something's too easy. Like you did this, you've done that, you've mastered this. Now it's time for you to move on and do something that is new. It's new territory. It's a new arena. You might have to think about it differently. You might have to strategize differently. You might have to, you know, come up with something totally new. And that might be why you're kind of like, I'm not interested in doing it, because if it isn't broke, then why fix it? But there is something to learn within this experience. This is something that you may not see the benefit of it now, but it will benefit you in the future. So this might be something where Spirit is nudging you politely to go and do what you may not want to do, but ultimately it's the best option for you. We got this Wheel of Fortune, that's 10, and the Hermit is 9, and this Two of Fire is 2. So this is giving me the energy of 3, right? It's giving me the energy of 3. 10 plus 9 is 10, plus 2 is 3. Yeah, there's something coming, or something that you're receiving, and you may not be receiving it well because it's something new. And it might be like ego, like, no, I don't want to do something challenging. If it's not broke, then why fix it? But it could also be fear of like failure, fear that you may not be good at it, fear that there's a learning curve, fear that people might think that you're not that great, that you're not, you know, you're one-hit wonder, so to speak. Let's see, what is the love message for Sagittarius? But you have to like let this experience happen. Like, this is what I'm saying, like, it's unavoidable, and it might be a part of your professional development or your personal development. Make the effort, literally. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Yeah, it might be out of your comfort zone, because maybe you're used to being the chaser, and now someone's chasing you. You may not be used to that, or you're used to like doing things to grab people's attention or make people like you, or being the class clown, and now it's asking you like, yeah, but you could be better than that. Like, yeah, you could be the girl who always picks up when he calls when he's in town, but you could also be the girl who's in a loving relationship that's open, that's mutual, that's reciprocal, that's respectful, that you don't have to play a role, that you can be your authentic self, that you can get the love that you put out there. Whatever the case may be in this particular scenario, is asking you to like be above this, especially since this Two of Wands, this depiction is of a giraffe, and you see the lanterns around the giraffe. Is asking you to see above this and to really search within self with this Hermit card, to see the truth, your inner truth, and listen to your higher self when you are making that judgment call. Let's see what the Sacred Destiny card is. Let's shuffle this thing out 2 more times. 1, 2. What is the message that you have for the Sagittarius spirit? Let's get a message for the Sagittariuses and their particular spread. I don't know, for some reason for Sagittarius, I just had a feeling that the Fortune's Wheel, the Wheel of Fortune was going to come out. Though, you know, other home planet cards haven't came out, but for some reason I just felt like the Wheel of Fortune was just right around the corner for the Sagittariuses. We have openness. This is another full moon energy. We are just on the same page as a collective, and I love it when it comes out in the readings how on page we are as a collective. So oftentimes we think, you know, because I'm a this and I'm a part of that and I'm this element and I'm from this classification and da-da-da-da-da, we split ourselves even in something that's supposed to bring us together as spirituality. But when these messages have the constant theme of like releasing and forgiveness and purity and holy and abundance, it's just like, yeah, we're all on the same page, period. Our stories are very similar. They may not have the same words or the same character, but very similar. Openness. Secrets of the moon. The cycle of the moon affects every aspect of our life. The clinical magnetic pull regulates the tides as it acts on our planet's waters. The moon even affects the monthly cycles of women. It's not an accident that a woman's cycle and the cycle of the moon are approximately the same amount of time. In native cultures, when women lived in nature, it was not common for them to menstruate during the new moon and ovulate around the full moon. It was believed that menstruation was the time that a woman had to be still, put her everyday labors aside, and renew. For all people, the dark of the moon was a time to incubate ideas, watch nocturnal dreams for signs, and be still. In modern life, we as a culture don't honor these natural cycles often enough. And as a result, our lives are usually bereft of this important time of rejuvenation. The sacred landscape wants you to know when you receive this card, be open to receiving signs. Be still, do nothing, be open, breathe, relax completely and thoroughly. Incubate your dreams for the future. If you are trying to make a decision, take the time to watch for signs and listen to the whispers of the universe. Gotta retreat back to self again. See their inner life, see the inner truth within self. That hermit energy, see it from a higher perspective. Watch your dreams for messages regarding the situation. Become the sacred watcher. Observe life as it unfolds rather than becoming engaged in it. Be open to what the universe has in store for you. Be receptive to the messages from your soul. This card can also be the bringer of sacred wonders into your life. Miracles can show up in ways you didn't expect. Okay, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, so you know I'm a freak. I don't know why that part is stuck in my head. But nonetheless, Sagittarius says, you know what to do. Trust in your instincts. Trust in your own decision-making skills. Because you got this. Period. Now we're moving on to Captastic Capricorns. Alright, Captastic Capricorns. Let's see what you got for us. Captastic. Capricorns are an interesting group of people. At Capricorn and Aries, one is an air sign, one is an earth sign, but the way that they present their authority is very similar, actually. Very assertive, both being cardinal signs, and very direct, and they don't mince words. And they are about that power. But high vibrational aspects of both Aries and Capricorn are not controlling just to be dominating and a megalomaniac. They want the best for you, and sometimes it comes out as like rigid, them trying to control you, but it's really that they want such a good outcome from you. They don't want you to fall. They don't want you to bruise. They don't want you to have setbacks because they know how harsh it can be. So sometimes they try to live it for you or give you quote unquote cheat codes because they wouldn't want you to experience the harshness that they experience. But the way that they express it is through control. And a high vibrational one is to control. And those who see that within self, they'll course correct and even apologize. But the ones who are low vibrational, they'll just try to keep bending your whim and then acting as if it's something other than them trying to control you. But that's what shadow work is for. I don't know why that I had to say that, but for Capricorns out there, I feel like that resonated for somebody. We have the Nine of Water, first card for the Caps. Let's get a second card. Interesting. We have Temptation. Capricorn, this is your cord. Temptations, traditional tarot, it would be the Devil card. May not be Devil per se, because I'm not getting Devil energy here. Our second card is the Star card. With this particular energy, it's actually good vibes. And I'm going to read the Temptation card because I don't want it to come off as Devil. Again, you can have your goods and your pros. And within this particular deck, the good tarot, we only read them upright. But what I'm getting with the collective of Capricorns is like you're finally getting your recognition. People are finally recognizing what you bring to the table, how good you are at doing what you do. And you're getting your honors, you're getting your accomplishments, you're getting your titles, you're getting that corner office, you're getting your front page face out there. Like, it's good. You're on the up and up. You're getting your wish fulfillment. You're getting your kudos. You're getting, again, your recognitions, right? You're getting your treasure chest full of gems, full of diamonds. Like, you're very astonished. People are realizing that you are the miracle. You are the sauce. You are the glue, that you do keep things together, that you are indeed the mermaid, right? But with this temptation card and this star card, you might feel as if you have to keep on performing. You have to keep on being this overachiever, which is great to achieve. And this is Capricorn energy. Like, I don't know no Capricorns who don't like money and who don't like getting money, right? But I feel like with this particular energy, you don't want to overextend yourself and lose yourself and getting more money, becoming more gluttonous, becoming more greedy, you know, putting materialistic things over real things such as real relationships, real experiences. You don't want to be chasing the bag that you forget to actually exist and live in life and participate. And I feel like with this particular energy, it's asking you, yes, get the bag, do what you love, get your, you know, recognition, get your pentacles, get your come-upsins, get your blessings, get your wish fulfillments, get all that, right? Be seen as the star, be seen as the queen of the ball or the king of the ball, but don't get lost in the limelight. Don't get lost in people's gazes. Don't get lost in trying to be other things to other people, live up to other people's expectations, right? Don't let people box you in or redefine who you are because it fits their particular narrative. So I feel like this is a warning call, if anything, but this is on the up and up for the Caps. Like, this is real good energy. 9 here. We've got the temptation. 15 reduced gives you 6. 9 and 6 gives you 15. 15 reduced gives you 6. And then we have the star card here, which is 8. And 6 and 8 gives us 14 energy. It's talking about that balance, baby. You have to have that balance. You don't want to be all the way to the left, all the way to the right. And you don't want to like be caught in the shuffle that, again, you miss life, right? You don't want to look back and say like, yeah, I accumulated all of these things, or I was jumping through all of these hoops, and where did they get me? I either lost my time, lost my dignity, lost my respect, or whatever the case may be. You don't want to have regrets that you can't mitigate. Let's see what is the love messages for Capricorns with the Romance Angel Oracle. A card that came out is this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. Caps. I feel like with this, don't be tricking either. Don't be tricking either. Show that you got it and you can spend it if you want to. But don't be trying to buy anybody's affection. Again, chasing someone else's gaze, chasing somebody else's affections, especially with this being the devil card here and with the heart. And then we're talking about this could be the one. Don't be out here looking foolish like love after lockup. Don't be out here looking goofy out here tricking and doing the absolute most for somebody who can't do nothing for you. And then when they come out of prison, they more effed up than they were when they entered prison, right? Don't be out here desperate for love. That's what I'm getting with this particular energy, whether it's romantic love or any other forms of love. Because there is like, what, 8 types of love? Don't be out here begging someone to want you, to love you, to desire you. Be your own muse. Be your own full cup. That does not mean that you should never date, because people love taking things to the extreme. That means before you date, know that you are self-sufficient. So if things ever get scary or things ever get toxic, you could always be like, I'm better than this and I'm dipping, versus I think we could work it out. Like, yeah, they take advantage of me. Yeah, they lied to me. Yeah, they beat up on me. Yeah, they steal my money. But you know, I love them. Don't be that. Don't be that. Or like, yeah, he got other women, he got bitches, I got niggas too, and yeah, he fucking dumb or woo-doo, but I'm the main bitch, I'm the bottom bitch. Don't be that either. Let's see what is the Sacred Destiny card for the Caps. What's going on with the Caps? Okay. Something slid. Flow. Was this not Taurus energy? I know it came out, and I do believe it was for the Tauruses. Flow. Meandering river. A meandering river is a waterway that curves, bends, turns, and seems to swing side to side as it flows forward. Viewed from above, it looks sinuously and even snake-like. Meandering rivers are dynamics that they wind their way across valleys, floors, and bring life-giving sediments to new habitats. The word meander was derived from the ancient Meander River, which flows into the Aegean Sea. The Greeks created symbols for meander that have been described as some of the most important symbols for the ancient Greek culture. They represented the fluid movement of water and the internal flow of all life. The twisting patterns were also thought to represent the serpent, which was the symbol of healing, hence our present day symbol for doctors in the caduceus. The sacred landscape wants you to know there are times to hold on tight to the shore, and there are times to enter the flow. Notice where life is going and move in that direction. Watch for signs and follow them. Don't resist. When you go with the flow, your life force expands and healing on all levels abounds. This is also the time to release old limiting patterns, forgive, and let go of the need to be right about your beliefs. If you aren't feeling the smooth currents of life, it might mean that you're being self-critical or judgmental. When you enter the flow with gratitude and love, you will find blessings surrounding you. You will enter into a state of grace and healing will abound. Yeah. I feel like it should be reciprocal. It's a reciprocal energy. Don't be tricking out here. Don't be trying to buy people's love, buy people's affection. Cap, I know you were Cap. Capricorns. You Enough said. Let's move on to Aquariuses. Full moon, Aquarius. What's going on with Aquariuses? Is Megan really showing up and showing out for y'all the way that y'all would want to, Aquariuses? Because y'all got a few people. You got Azealia Banks too, which is Aquarius. I think even Young and May was an Aquarius. For some reason, while I was doing the Capricorn reading, there's a song that I particularly like of hers that's called Don Diva. And then towards the end of the rap, it's her featuring Ruby Rose. I don't know why I said Ruby Red. Ruby Rose, right? And at the end of the song, Young and May is talking about feelings on decrease, banking account on increase. Bitch, please. It's like, if you feel like someone's trying to play you, play them right back. And when they think they got you good, you be like, feelings on decrease, bank account on increase. Bitch, please. And you should see that part. You should see the video in general for Don Diva. I like the song. I think you might like it too. But see towards the end of the video when she says that. Like, you trying to play me, you trying to finesse me, I'm trying to finesse you. We gonna finesse each other. Like, what's good? Play the game. At least the way Young and May was talking about it within that particular song. I'm not advising that you should play the game, but if you're going to play it, you better play it to your best of your abilities for you to win. Because don't be out here, being your lesser self, getting karmic debt because, you put too much stake in somebody else but yourself. Be your own wish fulfillment, your own two of cups, your own soulmate, your own lover before you go out there. So you know what good love looks like, feel like, tastes like, smells like, and all the other symptoms, if I forgot any, it looks like, sounds like, smells like, tastes like, feels like, because you gave it to yourself first and foremost. Now, Aquariuses, what's going on with the Aquariuses? What's going on? All right, we got the messenger of fire dealing with the gutter snake. Is you a gutter snake? Let's see. Let's get a second card for the Aquariuses. We have Page of Fire. Interesting. Let's get a third card for the Aquariuses. Chariot. So this is what you got. The Messenger of Fire would be the Knight of Fire. Then the Page of Fire would be the Page of Wands, and the Chariot, still the Chariot. So with this particular spread, what I am seeing is that someone might be done with playing their player ways. I'm getting, I don't want to be a player no more. I'm not a player, I just crush a lot. Like someone's realizing that they play themselves with this Aquarius energy. I feel like someone was fast and flighty, wanted to be seen, wanted to be heard, too friendly, thought they could have their cake and eat it too. And they made a fatal move where they had to learn from an experience. This could have been like some type of twin flame situation, some type of departure, some type of like this person was immature. You were dealing with an immature person, Aquarius, or you were that immature person. And something had to give, something had to be learned from this experience. And I feel like both parties learned. The gutter snake learned why it's not best to be a gutter snake. And the person who was dealing with said gutter snake realizes their worth and realizes that they did not need to play into the games of this person who was an F person, a person who wasn't consistent, someone who was flighty, someone who had maybe a black book or was juggling multiple people. Whatever the case may be, both parties needed to learn this lesson of self-love and self-respect. Even though they might not be together, they have separated, because I'm feeling the energy has separated. They both need to learn this, because as you can see, this is like a tiger. And as you can see, this is another full moon energy. And you see like there's flowers and whatnot. And this little geisha girl, Asian little geisha girl. And with this particular energy, it's giving me like Chinese New Year's. Like there was some type of restoration that needs to be done. Some type of like reclaiming energy, reclaiming time. Like one chapter ending for a new chapter to begin. And they both need to experience because they mirror each other. They could have similar aspects within their individual charts, like birth charts, but they both needed to reflect to each other and trigger each other's shadow to do that shadow work. But usually when it comes to twin flames and things of that nature, one usually gets the lesson and one usually recognizes that they have to do the internal work, where the other person continues to run away, continues to be a gutter snake, gutter rat, continues to play the same game over and over again until they go fast, 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 crash, crash, crash. And now I feel like with this gutter snake energy, the liar, the manipulator, the flaky person, the inconsistent person, the person with little black books and everything, they've gotten some lesson that they learned through the separation, and now they want to come forward with this Chariot card. As you can see, this is a white horse and a black horse. It's black and white, what you know versus what you don't know. White is knowledge, black is like darkness, but it's also like a code to what is hidden, what is the unseen. I feel like with this particular person, yes, they look more older than, like, let's say this Messenger of Fire, which is literally a little ass kid. Then we have the Page of Fire, which is like, let's say a preteen. And then we have this Chariot, which seems more like a teen, maybe like older preteen, like maybe 12 to like what 14, 12 to 14, where this kid looks more like 8 to 10 and this child looks more like 6. It's like someone is growing up, but they're still immature, they're still childish. But I feel like with this particular energy, like, yeah, they have quote unquote learned the lesson, especially if they are, or you are a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, heavy Cancer energy, this being the Chariot. Maybe they resolved their own childhood issues, or they recognize that they still had childhood wounds. Maybe they were dealing with their mommy issues, or they realized that they still had mommy issues, or whatever the case may be. Some type of enlightenment has happened, some type of revelation within this experience that they've had, but they're still coming up as short and mature. And I feel like this is a person who wastes his time. This is a person who moves on, not even the final hour. They move on like, if the final hour was 5 o'clock, this is 3 days later, and they're like, did I make it on time? It's a day late and a dollar short. And this person is always going to be short. This person is always going to be, what's this term? Not haphazard, but just like insufficient. it's always going to be like insufficient funds. You go into your account, you want to take money out of your account, you can't even have it because there's nothing. It's inadequacy. Like this person will always delay you in some way, shape, or form because they don't meet the mark. They move slow. And then when they do show up, they literally show up with the bare basics, the bare minimum, and they act like they did something heroic. They act like they reinvented the wheel. Kind of like Jeff Bezos taking his dick rocking into space as if he's the first person to ever go into space. I feel like this person really wants a standing ovations because they burped. They woke up. Like they do the bare minimum, but they expect the best. They expect the most. And I feel like this person might want to come in and have a conversation, might want to come up and clear their air to some degree. But again, I'm feeling the energy like this person just ain't it. Interestingly enough, my phone says 1111. If you can see 1111. So I feel like this person could have been a twin flame situation or a karmic lesson. Again, Uranus is in Taurus retrograde. So I feel like with this person could be stuck. This person was running for so long. Now they can't run and they have to deal with themselves. They have to deal with their lessons. They had to deal with their shadow. Like they had to confront themselves, face their fears. And now maybe because the Uranus energy of like, yes, rebellious, yes, expansive, yes, looking things from a different perspective, and that, you know, changing the energy, that Uranus rebellious energy, making your own way, being free, being bold energy, being stuck in Taurus is like, be real, be substantive. Don't just be an image. Don't just be a slogan, like walk that walk, talk that talk. And the person couldn't, being stuck in this page of fire energy. They had to be stuck and meditate and look into self and see how their actions has led and created the pathway that they're going down. And now they want to come back around. But I feel like it's really on some like, I finally figured how to tie my shoe. And it's like, yeah, you 25. I expect you to know how to tie your shoes. And they're like, well, why can't you just be happy for the fact that I tied my shoes? And it's like, it's not good enough. That's why. It's not good enough. And they really want you to be like, Bravo, Bravo, you're 25 and you finally learned how to tie your shoes. It's that type of energy. It's not real deep work because it's page of fire work, quote unquote work. It's not that deep, that soul searching, that soul cleansing, that shadow work. It's very much of like, oh, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Got it. But can you actually put the theory into method? Could you actually break down why that makes sense? No, because it's surface level. I feel like this person is surface level. Release your eggs. Gagging. The time has come to clear your energy. I felt that. I felt twin flamage energy, especially with that 1111 that I showed y'all, especially with this page of fire. Like, yes, this is X energy. This is twin flame energy. Like, look at her. She's fatigued. She's like, oh, oy vey, not another round of this bullshit. Like, get the fuck away from me. Like, feelings on decrease, bank account on increase. Bitch, please. It's giving me the energy of like, I just want to wash my hands away from this. And the gag is, I think Young May is actually an Aquarius. So with this particular energy, it's really on some like, I'm good, love. I'm so good off of this. Release you under the full moon and keeping that thing pushing. Because this person, it's like they're a parasite. They tie themselves to people because they know they're inadequate. And then they suck the blood out of the person, and when the person has nothing else to give, they move on to the next, like literally like a parasite, literally like a vampire. But now they realize that your blood is the sweetest of the bunch, and now they want to come back around. But even if they're not as parasitic as before, again, they're 25 bragging about tying their shoes, and there's nothing mentally or developmentally rational about why they're so delayed. They're delayed because they don't put in work. This person could have felt lucky, could have been a trust fund baby, could have been someone who was comfortable or someone who had no work ethic or whatever the case may be. But they're always going to be playing catch up, and they're always going to be some way, some shape, half-ass, haphazard, half-ass. They're just going to be half-ass and expect you to like that, accept that, and validate that as if like they're the best in the bunch, literally. What is the messages for the Aquariuses before we slip right back into the Pisces collective spirit? Spirit was like, girl, I think you forgot a step. You was just way too quick to wrap that thing up. Let's see. One more shuffle for the Aquarius collective. Alrighty. Something about us Aquarius. We like to get drunk. We have to fucking get drunk. Something like that. A line from Megan. But it is something about you Aquariuses. That is for sure. What is the message for the Aquariuses, spirit? Purification. And change. Okay. 2 cards for the Aquariuses. Let's read for purification. And we'll follow it up by change. Purification, summer rain. Summer rain, traditionally, rain symbolizes rebirth and washes one's sins away. Water is also associated with emotions, and summer rain can represent the release of long-held emotions that allowed for a purification and inner healing. There is also a renewal aspects of rain. The old saying, April showers bring May flowers. I didn't know that, but I'm about to steal that. April showers, I've heard of that, bring May flowers. April showers bring May flowers. You gotta water that soil for anything to blossom. Means that what follows the rain is a time for renewal and blossoming. The sacred landscape wants you to know it's difficult for new, vibrant energy to enter your life if it is clogged with old, outdated energy, hence releasing said X. Cleanse and purify your body and physical space. This is a great time for a detox, clutter, clearing, cleansing, and space clearing. Release outdated energy to invite fresh, clear energy into your life. Eat lightly. Don't take things personally. Release resentment, guilt, and blame. Purify yourself, thoughts, words, and deed. Decluttering is modern day alchemy. If you don't love it or use it, let it go. This card can also represent abundance as flowing water in a metaphor for prosperity, and summer is a time of expansion. And we are in summer season. So I feel like with this particular energy, again, you got to release the old to make space for the new. Let's go into change. Yeah. You gotta release that. You gotta release that. Because how are you gonna make space for better things and better options if you're so hung up on your ex? And that's why they still have that energy and that belief that they can come in through with that Chariot card, especially if you have a family. Y'all know each other for a very long time since childhood. Y'all have children between y'all. Y'all was about to get married. Y'all were planning to have kids, whatever the case may be. Like, you got to close that door permanently and walk away from that. Dancing clouds throughout time, or, you know, accept dealing with someone who's always going to be half as great as you. Dancing, which would be like codependency, which would be like selling yourself short, which would be like knowing that disrespect is being served at the table, but still eating it like it's the best thing since sliced bread. But nonetheless, change, dancing clouds. Throughout time, people have looked to the heavens for signs, and in the ever-changing movement of the clouds, they have seen shapes and forms that seem to be direct messages from the Creator. Clouds are shapeshifters. Their essence is the same, but they can change from mist to rain, to ice, to snow, to water. The transient nature of clouds leaves the understanding that life is transitionary and ever-changing. The sacred landscape wants you to know it's okay to change your mind. It's all right to change directions. You do not need to be consistent. This is a time to put the needs and expectations of others aside and listen to the beat of your own drum. You don't need to follow tradition. Create your own traditions. You are free to express yourself and let your spirit fly. Let your freak flag fly underneath this Aquarius full moon. Yes, absolutely. Don't self-sacrifice. Don't self-sabotage. None of that. Be daring. Go beyond predictable behavior. Just because something has always been done a certain way doesn't mean that it needs to continue to be done that way. You can't control the exact circumstances of your life, but you can control what meaning you give to them. Select meanings that empower you, for this is the time to be carefree, wild, and unpredictable. Very much that Uranus energy. Expansion heavy. Shoot. Now, back into the Pisces side of things. Because the last thing I would hate would be looking over the video, reviewing it, and be like, I didn't do Aquarius, because then I would feel the need to do it, and it would just cause more problems in a little bit. So now we back at it with Pisces to close this thing up. What do you have for the Pisces collective spirit? Our first card is Justice. Let's get a second card for the Pisces collective. Okay. I wouldn't take it, but because there's doubles, I always feel like when I see doubles, there's some type of significance to it. So we have Justice followed by the Two of Fire for the third time coming out in a spread. Then we have the Page of Earth, and we have the Two of Fire, and it looks like this. 4 cards instead of 3, like this, and not like that. So with this particular spread, what I am seeing is that you might be confused about a decision that you have to make because it might be a long, strenuous process. You might not have the funds for it. It might be a situation where you're fighting someone that you feel like is a giant, someone who has more, let's say, leeway and money and opportunities. And let's say like this person has a reputation or whatever the case may be. You might feel inadequate. Or you might feel like you are like David fighting Goliath, and you might be questioning if you are suitable to even take on this task. Like, who are you? You just a nobody. You just a small fish. But with this Justice card being a major arcana, as well as this is like the theme of like this particular spread, this being another 2, even though it's 11, reduces 2, and we have already 2 2s here with the Two of Fire and the Two of Air. This is the energy of continuation, of repetition. I feel like it's something that you gotta do. It may take you longer with this being the Page of the Messenger of Earth, which is the Knight of Pentacles, which is the slowest moving knight in the deck. However, you see this woman, she looks fearless. She looks like a badass. Every time I see this, this reminds me of like Alicia Keys type of energy. This woman, she reminds me of Alicia Keys. I feel like you have to be a warrior. You have to start somewhere. And this might be seemingly daunting, but it might just be the way that you perceive it to be daunting. You might think it might be hard. You may not think that you're qualified. You might think justice is not on your side. But with 2 being repeated here 3 times within these cards, and the only card that doesn't have a number is this Page of Earth, and the other 3 cards do have a number, and the repetitives of 2. You might have to go on this path solo, but you will meet someone on the path that has the same vision and the same consistency and tenacity to go through it. This mission, this purpose, this thought, this cultivation, but this is a crossroad because this might feel as if this is a new territory, especially if we are talking about this is Pisces energy, the house of undoing. You might have to go into those places that you thought you were done with, people that you thought you were done with, scenarios you thought you were done with. Or you might see like someone pretends to be a great person, a great ally, but behind the scenes, there's someone totally different. And now you see them with their mask off energy. You see them as a secret ops. You see them as a secret enemy. You don't want to engage within that particular vibration. Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and we already know Neptune is in reverse, and Pisces is sister signs with Virgo, and we know Virgo energy, Mercury is in Virgo. So I feel like with this reality, it's like you see something and other people may not see it, and it may take you to like ring the alarm, and it might be scary because you might be ringing it alone, and there might be some retaliation, and there might be some like disregarding when you do come out to say this truth, but it's needed. It's kind of like no one would know about Andrew Cuomo and his disgusting behaviors unless those women said something, right? And it didn't say something right away because of Cuomo's power, the media saying stupid shit like Cuomo's sexual, and them giving him like leeway and just basically a get out of free jail card because he's Cuomo. Like, he lied about how many elderly people died in those nursing homes that were contaminated with COVID-19. Like, he misused his power. He thought he was the emperor. Like, he thought nobody could check him. He was grabbing women's breasts and telling men that he could do this and the third to them. Like, he was really in his megalomaniac energy, narcissistic energy, emperor in reverse energy. And I feel like you might have to be the person to expose that energy, to call out that energy, but you might feel some type of resistance, and you might feel like it's an uphill battle, and you might feel like people don't support you. But along the way, with truth, with receipts, everything will fall to the wayside. Like, you don't have to do much. If you got the receipts speak for themselves. People may try to disregard the receipts or rearrange the receipts or add their own spin to receipts, but the truth just is. You don't have to explain the truth. And I feel like the truth will be coming. The truth will be setting people free, but you might be the one to have to ring the bell of truth, like this Lady of Justice, Lady Liberty type of tease. Healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Because even though it might be hard to hear, especially if you're still dealing with childhood wounds, like, your parents were children. And even though they might do things that you don't like and you might disregard, and you might feel as if like they should be more emotionally receptive, they should be more insightful, they should be this and the third, they're only running on a script that they were sold, the script that they were programmed, the script that they were given. So a lot of parents aren't able to give their kids, especially if we're talking about different generations, we're talking about different cultures, we're talking about all these other factors and intersectionalities. Your parents only can give you what they have. Your parents can only read from a script of parenting that they were installed with what they have learned when they were children. So this might be in regards to dealing with family issues, picking apart your own family, calling the truth within your own dynamic, because Pisces is the house of undoings. Pisces is the house of isolation, imprisonment, health. So it might be a situation where you have to, pull the covers, like you have to illuminate the truth within the darkness, kind of like the moon card in traditional tarot. And they may not like you for it originally. They might disregard you originally. They might try to pick apart what you say originally, but eventually the truth will set you free. The truth will come out, and the truth doesn't need an explanation. The truth doesn't need an alibi. The truth just is. So believe that. Let's get a sacred destiny card. Especially we're talking about childhood wounds, childhood trauma. We're talking about abuse. We're talking about maybe even molestation. Like, speak your truth. And if people don't believe it, people don't want to understand it, people want to be on some la la land, they want to pretend like the family's perfect, they want to pretend like it wasn't that bad, or you ruining the family, and why would you do that? You might have to walk this final destiny alone, but know that you can hold your head high because you told the truth and not a lie. You live in this reality, you live in truth and not a lie. You might have to find out that you are your own free spirit. These are birds, these are doves, this is peace. You have to have your crown in peace. These birds are wearing crowns. It's the crown chakra. You got to give yourself the mental peace of mind, even if that means letting it go, walking alone, cutting the situation out, this family situation, because resolving issues doesn't necessarily mean that we try it again. Sometimes it really is thank you next. Sometimes it is I choose to move on and continue this road alone with peace, with space and grace, with humility, with diplomacy. But nonetheless, if you feel like it's just too far from being repaired and you feel like it wouldn't be safe to your mental health, then just let it go, period. But at least state what you need to state and then check the deuces if need be. I cannot make this up. Openness. This is the second time this came out. Literally, this is a collective energy. This is like a 50 some odd card deck. And we have 3 cards come out twice. Let me read what openness says again. Ooh, we're a little over 3 hours, but we're going to make it do what it do because we're at Pisces. Secrets of the moon. The cycles of the moon affects every aspect of our life. The cynical magnetic pole regulates the tides as it acts on our planet's waters. The moon even affects the monthly cycles of women. It's not an accident that a woman's cycle and the cycle of the moon are approximately the same amount of time. In native cultures, when women lived in nature, it was not uncommon for them to menstruate during the new moon and ovulate around the full moon. I also want to say, if like this is a situation where you're calling out a predator, it's going to take you to call them out and go through the hardships of like people disregarding you, people not believing you, but it protects other victims from possibly becoming victims because you already put the spotlight on this predator and you make it quote unquote hot for them. So people will already have an eye out, even if they don't want to believe you. Once certain conversations get to talking, even if people don't want to align with the actual victim telling their truth, the truth will come out. And once you drop that seed of questionable activities, people may not say they believe you upright, but they will be like, where you going? Who you with? How you know him? It was believed that menstruation was the time that a woman had to be still, put her everyday labors aside, and renew. For all people, the dark of the moon was a time to incubate ideas, watch nocturnal dreams for signs, and be still. In modern life, we as a culture don't honor these natural cycles often enough, and as a result, our lives are usually bereft of this important time of rejuvenation. The sacred landscape wants you to know when you receive this card, be open to receiving signs. Be still, do nothing, be open, breathe, relax, completely and thoroughly incubate your dreams for the future. If you are trying to make a decision, take the time to watch for signs and listen to the whispers of the universe. Watch your dreams for messages regarding the situation. Become the sacred watcher. Observe life as it unfolds rather than becoming engaged in it. Be open to what the universe has in store for you. Be receptive to messages from your soul. This card can also be the bringer of sacred wonders into your life. Miracles can show up in ways you didn't expect. And if this is in regards to like people having secret babies, outside babies, things of that nature, that might come to the surface and that might be addressed too. Especially if you felt like you were treated differently from your siblings or your siblings felt that they were treated differently. Like all of that may be coming to the surface for the Pisces collective. But that is the energy for the collective reading. Ooh, child. And everybody got the sacred oracle, the 3-card spread, and the romance angel love oracle card. So everybody got what they needed. But that is essentially the ceremony for the full moon in Aquarius. Hopefully y'all take these messages in and look into your chart, because we have every planet and we have every house. Maybe not every planet is in every house, but see how these affects you, these energies affect you, and see how this reading applies to different planets, different houses, and how you can better interpret your chart if it resonates for the collective. But definitely release, definitely purify, especially those who have had the openness card with the sacred destiny. This gives me very much woman energy. Go back to your womanhood, go back to your femininity, prioritize yourself, do some womb clearing, become celibate, recognize how your ovulation or your menstrual cycle affects you. Be more sacred with yourself. Put more boundaries and limit the access other people have of you. Treat yourself, love yourself, have space and grace for yourself. Be kind to yourself, be gentle to yourself, love upon yourself, and be your authentic self. Don't be tricking on nobody and doing the absolute most to chase people's gaze, but don't allow nobody to treat you like a doormat or come through for your celebrations and with their hand out, but through the troubling times and the times that you could actually need a handout, they ain't nowhere in sight, okay? Reciprocity is the name of the game. But that is the reading that I have for the collective. Hopefully it hits, hopefully it resonates. But let me hit you with the shameless plus where you can find me. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, YouTube, Podbean, Patreon, BlackWomanVibes. If you are watching this full moon ceremony, you're probably on Patreon. So thank you for joining my Patreon. On Patreon, we do have conversations about mental health, spirituality, and psychology, because all of that matters, right? We use a little bit of psychology, we use a little bit about spirituality and mental health, because it's all about our personal development, as you can see within these particular readings. BlackWomanVibes podcast on Podbean, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pandora, iHeartRadio, and a whole host of other podcast platforms. Definitely check out the BlackWomanVibes podcast. It is free 99, and we talk about the human experience through the Black woman's perspective, and we have legitimate gems and jewels for women to implement in their lives. The content is specifically for women, in particular Black women, but anybody can get the gist of it, because everybody's going through the human experience on some way, shape, or form, as you can see within these particular spreads. That's why the messages are very similar. So if content like that intrigues you, you want to invest in your personal development, mental health, as well as astrology and all that good stuff, definitely tune into the BlackWomanVibes podcast. If you're on the Patreon platform, enjoy the content. And again, you can follow me all over social media. If you'd like to show your gratitude for this reading or any of my content, you could always hit me up in the Cashapp, $BlackWomanVibes. If you'd like to schedule a personalized reading, you can reach out to me via the DMs or via email at blackwomanvibes@gmail.com. So this is the Aquarius full moon. I've been talking for forever. I want to lay down. But thank you for joining. Hopefully these messages really give you that extra boost of confidence, that extra confirmation or alignment or message or nuggle or whatever you want to call it, to help you on your mission, your purpose, your adventure, your human pathway, your soul tribe, your soul path, and so on and so forth. But let us do one more tap from the singing bowl to wrap this thing up. Inhale, exhale as I tap. With all that being said, y'all, be blessed, be enlightened, be loved. I'm out.